Hello, and welcome to Han Solo.
There we go. We're live. Enjoy.
Yeah, we are live. Well, kind of.
Partially living.
We are in the land of the damned. Welcome to Google Hangouts.
Yes. All right, Brackus, you're the man that knows the plan. So we're talking Death of Superman animated, Chris Hardwick and Chloe Dykstra, something about Super Smash Brothers harassment. I take it people are upset that the glutes on Snake are no longer quite so ample.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. The ass on Snake is the big deal. The boobs on Samus Aran, not so much.
Oh, I saw somebody. There's an artist I follow on fucking Twitter who did some fan art of that, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because they made Samus buffer with smaller tits, and then it just kept showing up for a bunch of other characters, like along the comic strip, Zelda showed up, shortened the boobs up, and like basically every time this goddess character would reduce somebody's tits, she'd make her own huge. So and she's like, I hope I don't have to reduce anything else. And then there was like some pterodactyl creature or some shit like that showing up, and she's just looking terrified, like, oh god, no. Because by the end they were just way too fucking big. Like, there's comically big, and then there's what the fuck was happening.
Cosmically. They went to cosmically big.
Yeah.
And of course, with poor Snake in his uniform, it's like he's wearing nothing at all. He's gotten that flat ass thing going on now.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so our on the thing we have here, Super Smash Brothers harassment, Chris Hardwick, Chloe Dykstra, and Death of Superman. We could talk at length on the Death of Superman, so I think we should hold off on that one for right now.
Sure.
I think maybe tackling the Chris Hardwick and Chloe Dykstra thing would probably be best. Have you heard anything about this, Igor?
Absolutely nothing. I have no idea what's going on. Chris Hardwick is not someone I follow. It's like once he started getting really weird and not as funny as he used to be, I just kind of like, all right, unfollow. I don't pay attention to your channel anyways.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I thought his show at midnight was fucking hilarious. I did enjoy Talking Dead when, you know, I was still watching The Walking Dead. Now I just don't give two shits.
Yep.
Now you have two of me.
One of them is apparently showing us titty fucking female Lino.
Yes.
Oh, it gets
Thunder
worse.
plots. Oh!
You leave my Thundercats alone, you bitch.
On this artist, yeah.
I've seen these before.
I could get along with this Thundercats reboot. I couldn't.
You know, I sometimes get a little annoyed when it comes to the gender bending characters and stuff like that, because you only ever see the male characters being turned into female characters, and they're usually like cute female characters and stuff. And it just makes me wonder, like, why are nobody ever really transforming the female characters into male characters?
Because when they do, they get screamed at.
It's fucking stupid. It's annoying.
Yeah, because there are artists that like to do the gender swap from female to male too, but when they do, and if they post it anywhere that's remotely related to Tumblr or Twitter, then the people are like, but you can't do that. That's a woman. She's all empowered. You can't do that. And they get all pissy, but they love it when they switch a man to a woman in the so.
Well, for fuck's sakes, in Thundercats, they got enough pussy whether they're male or female, so who cares?
Yeah, even the males are technically pussies.
Yep.
I think that's just really fucking stupid, though, because like that's really what makes it annoying for me is I'll see the pictures like this the female Tigra, the female Panthro, and the female Liono. And I'm like, that's fucking great art. I love that. That's actually badass. I would not mind seeing a complete gender swapped fucking version of that series. Although Wily Kit and Wily Cat, there is nothing you could do with that one. Like, okay, so
pretty
Wily
much be
Kit,
the same.
it's the same
they're-
characters.
They're both kids, so it wouldn't even matter.
It wouldn't matter exactly because they're essentially the same character.
Yeah, Wily Kit and Wily Cat are Siamese twins. They're also supposed to be Siamese cats and everything like that. All you're really doing is just color swapping. That's it.
Yep.
Well, and it's not like you'd be sitting there gender swapping the two of them and then looking at Wily Cat and going, "Look at the tits on that," because they ain't that.
Yeah. But no, I think a complete gender swap, that would be pretty cool. But like, I do get very fucking annoyed whenever all I see is the male characters being transformed into females, and I never see the females being transformed into males, and it's just it irks me because it's like, you people really have such a problem. You love it, absolutely fucking love it when the males get turned into females, but you fucking despise it when the females get turned into males. Like, come on, that is so goddamn retarded. You have something wrong with you.
Yeah. Well, hey, what can you do?
Yeah. Well, anyways, Chloe Dykstra and Chris Hardwick. We talked briefly about them on an earlier show. Pretty much what's going on is Chris Hardwick and Chloe Dykstra apparently dated some time ago. And Chloe had written a book, I think sometime last year or a couple of years ago, something along those lines. And the book was had a certain part of it where it explained she was going through depression and she lost a lot of weight because of the depression. And she was very down on herself and not feeling good and all that stuff. And it was because of a very bad relationship she was in at a certain point, and the breakup itself and everything. Okay. Well, some people had actually taken the information from the book and eventually, because of timing, started pointing fingers at fucking Chris Hardwick. There's no actual proof. There's no definitive proof of any of this. And in all honesty, from what I can tell, Chloe just seems to be making things up, or at least she's blaming Chris for her own fucking problems. And so Chris is now being hit pretty fucking hard with this.
The other problem is when you are super, super depressed, even small issues in a relationship or just in general can seem hyper terrible because you're taking everything to be far worse than it really is. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it very well could be, and I'm not defending her or, cheering for her or whatever. I don't know what the situation was. But it very well could just as easily be because she was in a super depressed state. It just did, it made the relationship seem shittier than it really was.
I'm just trying to figure out who these two are and why we should give a fuck.
Chris Hardwick, the Nerdist podcast. He's pretty big in nerd. I guess you could say nerd culture, as it were, because he started like the Nerdist and some other big channels like that.
That's weird because I was swimming in a sea of over 800,000 nerds last weekend, and I didn't hear his name not one fucking time. I don't know. I've never watched the Nerdist. That's why I'm just kind of listening to you guys and trying to figure out who are these fucking people.
Maybe 4 years ago, I'd be far more like, oh wow, or something like that. But I think his star has started to fade in the last couple of years. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah. So. Brief little history with Chris Hardwick. He got his semi-start on MTV as the host of a MTV TV show that they had. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a dating show. Chris eventually expanded his horizon when he moved over to G4 and started talking to the nerds and geeks over on G4. I can't remember what he did over there specifically. And then Chris has just kind of gone from there. He's just usually a host of a show. He just shows up. He's a known geek, a comedian, all that stuff. He eventually had his own show at midnight, but that eventually went under because there weren't enough views, which makes sense, seeing as how At Midnight was actually a show that would literally be on around midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, you know, not everybody who is up at those hours are actually watching TV, and not everybody who's up at those hours really want to watch stuff like that. So after a couple of seasons, that eventually fell through. And then he ended up being the host of The Talking Dead, which is a TV show that comes on directly after The Walking Dead every single season. It's been happening since season 1 itself because, again, Chris is a known geek, and he's a huge nerd, all that shit. Well, Chloe Dykstra herself is also a big part of that particular world because specifically Chloe is the daughter of one of the guys who actually created all of the old models from the very first Star Wars movie. And he was, of course, part of the project in episodes 5 and 6 as well. And so she has a little bit of pedigree in the geek world. Sometime after that, she became a somewhat known geek blogger herself. She's a blogger / vlogger, and then eventually started dipping her feet in the whole cosplay world. But she never really took off. She's not like on the level of Jessica Nigri or Yaya Han or anything like that. She's more of a I occasionally do it at cons that I'm nearby, stuff like that. But yeah, so it would only make sense that those two would eventually meet up and everything like that. But still, as far as I know, as far as I can tell, there is no hard proof, especially since Chloe herself has never come out and said that Chris is a horrible person or anything like that. And again,
to address Zell, she never stated it was him. It's just people put timing together and such. She just said she was in a bad relationship at a certain point in her life, and that was a part of her depression.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like, just because she may have been dating him at that time, or maybe she had just gotten out of a relationship with Chris and gotten into it doesn't matter. Like, she doesn't directly say it's all Chris's fault or anything, and she was going through her own personal shit at the same time anyways. So it's fucked up that people automatically decided to take that further and start pointing fingers. And, like, I don't know how Chloe feels about all of this. I haven't heard anything from her. Like, her responses to the finger pointing over at Chris and stuff. But he's been hit already so far. I can't remember what he's been hit on, but he's basically been hit so far. And it's kind of like
I guess we shouldn't be surprised at getting hit so hard because apparently Chaos said they used to celebrate Smash the Patriarchy Day unironically on at midnight.
Wow.
So, I mean, he put his foot in that world, then if something goes wrong in the perception of what you're supposed to be, then that's gonna hit you hard. Yeah.
I had even seen a comment from Zell on a tweet he had actually talked about with this, and one of the things I do have to agree with him on is even if he was just an asshole or a douchebag, that doesn't mean he necessarily didn't. Maybe he was just a douchebag. Maybe he was just an asshole. Maybe she's just a douchebag. Maybe she's just an asshole. Like, there's way too much, unknown information about all of this, but people are just going ahead and fucking saying, this is the gospel truth. Chris Hardwick is an abusive piece of shit person.
Yeah, I think that's some bullshit. Bitchy is saying that apparently the Nerdist has cut all ties with him. That's pretty surprising. I thought he had a pretty significant ownership stake in the Nerdist since he built it.
Yeah, that's I don't know. But then again, look at fucking Harvey Weinstein. He was the victor of the two Weinstein brothers.
Well, any idiot knows that when a man puts his foot in the whole social justice ring, he's just painted an entire big-ass target on his goddamn forehead.
Yep.
I'm still.
Apparently the stream has died. We're getting a lot of chat.
The stream died? What?
No, I see it live.
Yeah, it's live.
Looks all right to me. Try refreshing.
Yeah, that might have been it. There might have been just like some kind of a technical glitch there. That's been happening to me all damn day.
Mhm.
Well, that's because I'm throwing a cursed image up on the fucking screen.
Fair enough. Like again, that's a relationship I don't think should ever happen. But I mean, hey, it's
Hey,
only going to go wrong from there.
Hey, even horror movie characters need love too.
Well, I hate to have to bring this up, but this is yet another T-shirt I got over the weekend.
I got the ring for my precious. Will you be my one?
Oh, I can only imagine that relationship would go bad places.
Oh yeah, Chaos brings up a good point. Hopefully his friends and family are, giving him some support because he is a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah,
Chris
but
Hardwick.
I can only assume that this is going to go pretty fucking badly because, like, in certain cases, like with Harvey Weinstein and a few other people from Hollywood that actually, are known to do shit like this, even in secret from like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Everyone knew about that shit. And only now it's a problem. But still, everyone knew about that shit. And yeah, they are pieces of shit for doing that. There's way too much evidence against Harvey Weinstein to say that, maybe he didn't do it. So fuck him. Fuck Harvey. Fuck all the assholes in Hollywood that actually did use their position of power to fucking get what they wanted out of fucking young women and shit. Pathetic assholes. But then there are people like fucking... It's weird because I'm now backing up fucking Ben Affleck again, but the Affleck situation.
Mm-hmm.
He, when he was in his early 20s, got a little handsy with a girl during an interview and may have said some pretty fucking messed up shit. Oh, excuse the fuck out of me. You weren't in your early 20s, maybe getting a little too drunk or perhaps being a little too rambunctious and fucking doing some stupid ass shit that you probably shouldn't have been doing. Okay, yeah, no, let's go ahead and crucify the guy because, maybe he accidentally grabbed a girl's tit in an interview. Whatever.
So people are going after Ben Affleck over something like this. There's a similar situation from a person who obviously hasn't been under fire, even though this is how he met his wife, Kevin Smith. He had an interview when he had filmed some movies, and this reporter came over, cute girl, all that kind of stuff. Got a little handsy with her, and years later they got married, had a kid, and all that stuff. No, but we don't hear anything about him.
Right.
Of course, it doesn't help that he's also a feminist and all that. So,
well, no. Let's be honest. His wife and daughter are feminists. He only goes along with it because he has to.
Yeah, they have 3 votes to his 1.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I guess also if he didn't tote the line, he wouldn't be working on Supergirl, directing that show.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Also, let's also be honest here. Kevin Smith's a little too nice. He can be a little too nice. He's almost like you, Samaj, where he's just really fucking nice. But even you have your moments where you can get dark and basically cuss a person out, which is weird because like hearing you get mean to somebody is kind of like watching the Pope just start jerking off in public. It's a really weird fucking moment. Everybody's shocked, but it's historical.
And that was a mental image I didn't fucking do tonight.
Praise be unto him. Oh.
Hey, no, when he gets off, he's
by the way, Samaj, Tom P and Trippy want to know if they can jump on here as well.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll send them the link.
Yeah, if my internet keeps acting up, I'm just going to go ahead and jet because all I can do is really shit post. I don't really know the subject matter we've been discussing so far.
Oh, no, fair enough. It's a hand solo, and I figured geek, so might as well fucking give you
a hand solo. Isn't that masturbation?
Yeah.
Joke.
That's kind of the reason why they decided to name it that.
That's also why the generic thumbnail for this is my ape hand holding a lightsaber in a precarious angle. That's why we call it the hand solo. But we're going to be changing that pretty soon because we don't want to make it seem like we only talk about Star Wars, even though there is a plethora of Star Wars stuff to talk about because it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, and of course,
you mean shitting.
There's that bad Star Wars joke that I'm showing off.
Yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Jealous. Samaj, I don't really know anything about this Super Smash Brothers harassment thing, though.
Yeah, what is that all about?
This is my first time hearing it too. Oh wait, could it be that someone was harassed, quote unquote harassed at like the Smash tournament?
I don't know. I think it might have been just the whole physical changes that they've done to certain characters, like what is her fucking name? The chick
Samus Aran.
Yeah.
Samus Aran and Snake with his lack of booty.
And I think didn't they reduce Samus's cup size?
Yeah, by 2 sizes. She's like a low B now.
God damn it!
Yeah, it's getting annoying.
And no matter what, Samus can't catch a break because I know that that there was some controversy over the last time because they made her own character, but they had to make some changes because in the early days, Samus could change her form to Zero Suit Samus. That's when you take off the armor, she's more maneuverable. Well, then they decided to instead just make Armored Samus and Zero Suit Samus 2 separate characters instead of being able to switch between the two mid-battle, which is okay, I guess. But when they did that, they changed Zero Suit Samus and they gave her these rocket heels, so she's constantly walking around in the heels. But they have adjustable rockets, and there was a controversy over that. Are you sexualizing a character by putting her in like sci-fi stilettos?
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Considering the fucking Kotaku's running their retardation dispensers over boob jiggle and fucking Soul Calibur, it's have these motherfuckers? Is their fetish for Japanese schoolgirls that bad that they'll bitch about a little boob?
What I like about that is that
jiggle.
What I like about that is that the Soul Calibur developers didn't buckle down and said, "Yeah, fuck you. We're just going to keep the boobs in there." But at the same time, another Japanese developer, the guys who made Tekken, decided to remove the boob jiggles. And so
then you have the company that made was it Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball? Those games, they have stopped producing them here in the States. They won't ship them to the States anymore.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but you can still buy them. You can. They're not region locked, so you can buy them online.
Yeah, but it won't be in English.
You have
to get a translation.
Yeah, there's that. But let's be honest here. You're not listening for the voice acting.
No, I mean, even the menus.
Oh no, they have an English feature.
Oh, all right.
That was one of the benefits of it, of ordering it online. I know that there's a YouTuber called Louis Laveau, and he's always showing that. He's got Go to Play Asia. We're not sponsored, by the way. I'm not going to show them. I'm just going to say he makes comments about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Bitchy Witch is saying, "Oh yeah, I read about this. The Netflix film crews are no longer allowed to look each other in the eyes for more than 5 seconds because of the Me Too movement."
What?
Which has got to be really awkward when you're filming a sequence and you're like, okay, now look her in the eyes and show her how much you care for her or hate him or love him. All right, that's 5 seconds. We got to cut.
Yeah, I don't think it applies. I don't think it applies to actual acting. I think it fucking applies to the shithead who brings the fucking sandwich. They don't want that guy over there.
Don't look me in the eyes, you piece of shit gopher. I said, get me a sandwich, not look at me.
It's only wrong if the chick feels like she's not attractive or is going to make any money off of the guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's one of the pluses of sexual harassment.
Well,
it's the company.
It's probably a lot like Olivia Munn. Her pussy goes drier than the Sahara unless you have connections in TV or movies.
Yo, man, I'm telling you, like, I love bitches with extracurricular teeth. You know them fucking canines and shit. They're just up a little bit too fucking high. You know what I mean? I just a little bit too much inbreeding and white trash on that side. They always got some bomb cutty. I'm telling you, it's got some amazing pussy on them fucking broads.
So I don't know if they changed anything in the promotional art. I dug up the pictures for Samus. This is from Smash Brothers Wii U. And there's those heels I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then here's the promotional art for the new game.
Yeah, that's bigger than what she is in the game, in that promotional art.
I think it's the angle, because I do think that there is a bit smaller. This one's a little more, you can sort of see them forward. This is more of a side view.
Yeah, I know it's also slightly different in the Japanese version. Apparently, I remember reading somewhere that apparently the American version they have toned down her chest area a bit.
I think they also have to be careful with this promotional art. Don't want to have a repeat of the Tracer situation with the butt.
Yo,
Well, they already did that with Snake, so.
Yo, the shoes glow. Those are fucking hot, dude. Yo, I want to buy that for one of my broads. Yo.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy shoes now that light up that have LED plug built in.
Yeah, I know. Yo, one of my girls got one of those and shit.
All right, fellas, my internet keeps shorting out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and buggy.
Take it easy.
All right.
I'll take it any way I can get it.
Yeah, we'll see you next time, Magnus. Thanks for coming.
Later, guys.
No, could you imagine though if they started complaining, like fucking, the people over here complaining so much about the graphics and the effects in anime that like all of a sudden all the new anime that's coming out, everything is reduced boobs, no boob jiggle, no fucking really long hair or anything like that. It's just like it's over sexualized and you have to make the girls' skirts longer because it's stupid and all kinds of shit like that. Like I don't think any of that would fucking fly if they kept trying to push all this fucking altering of characters who are supposed to be over sexualized. Like stop sexualizing these characters. Well, it's kind of
why the indie comic market's starting to flourish.
I'll say this. I mean, Nintendo gives no fucks when it comes to the booty. Because I'm looking at here Bayonetta. I'm like, oh, damn. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Some glutes.
So, yeah. Yeah. She works on her body. She takes good care of herself.
Yeah.
But doesn't she look like one of those feminist shows that would give you fucking attitude about asking for a fucking phone number and shit? With them fucking goddamn glasses and fucking short ass haircut. She got the I fuck black guys haircut from the gate and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, Bayonetta? No. She's one of those characters who'd be upset if you didn't try to give her your number or something or try to get hers.
Yeah, she doesn't like it when she's not hit on. Like if you just don't find her attractive, she's unamused.
At the same,
I don't like chicks with short hair. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like
her hair changes. All of her outfit is her hair.
She's a witch. That's why this all looks like hair. She's a witch. Her magic is changing her hair. It's only short if she wants it to be short. It's long if she wants it to be long. And technically, all her clothes are all technically her hair.
Well, technically, when she's not using her hair like she usually does, that shit goes all the way down to her fucking knees.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of hot. I'll be honest with you, man. You can just like grab a hold of it, lean back, and enjoy the goddamn ride and shit.
Well, that's how she got her daughter.
Yo, dig deep. That's one of them. I'm guaranteeing I'm scrambling the eggs in her fucking ovaries.
No, but yes, Bayonetta is one of those characters that, like, if she was a real person, and if the feminists try to push their ideas onto her, you'd probably see in the news, feminist rally gone horribly wrong. Everybody shot.
I don't know what happened, officer. My gun went off hundreds of times.
All I was doing was trying to walk away, and for some reason, my heels just started kicking up themselves.
And then demons came and ate them.
Pretty much. Oh man, the fucking censorship shit. It still pisses me off to this day. Like, I don't think I'll ever get over it. I didn't like it when I was a kid. I don't like it now that I'm adult. I just don't fucking like it. Like, okay, censoring things for kids, I can understand. For like shows like Pokemon, when they, you know, deleted that entire episode of the bikini contest between Misty, Jesse, and James, which was really friggin' weird. But when they deleted that whole thing, fine, I can understand your argument for it. Okay, whatever, not a big deal. When they deleted a lot of, you know, let's be honest here, Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a certain card character that has huge tits. And when she summoned, her boobs were reduced here in America, and I'm just like, all right, fair enough, I guess. But these are shows that are like, they're directed to little kids. They're directed to the 5-year-old, the 5 to 14-year-olds. You're not supposed to really be, you know, continuing to watch that shit past 14 and you know, think like, oh, I'm gonna fucking fap it to Misty. Don't do that. That's not what you're supposed to do.
And yet, the internet.
Yeah, they're close.
I don't know, man. I grew up pre-internet. You know what I'm saying? So like our porn was like a goddamn magazine. You know what I mean? Or like the scrambled Spice Channel and shit.
It's like, all right, if I hold the cable just right and tweak the channel dial so it's like halfway between 20 and 21, I kind of get some blurry, staticky porn from the Skinamax channel.
like you unplug the cable box and plug it directly into the TV and turn it to the fucking exact channel. You can hear it.
Like, about as good as it gets.
You can catch a glimpse of a boob on like the fucking like the like fucking bars going across and shit.
Man, that was actually I'm not even kidding you. I did that shit too. That was
anyone that's old enough to remember how to do that. It's like, oh yeah, I remember doing that as a teen.
Like, I'll be honest, I think the first time I cranked one out, I was in a hospital with a fucking busted arm. I was like 11 or some shit, to like a fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme fucking Time Cop movie or some shit like that. And it was like it was like the sex scene on the goddamn subway or something like that, man. I don't even fucking really remember. But I feel like these kids today are spoiled as shit.
Oh yeah, everybody's spoiled as fuck. Like, you can go on the internet and just type in porn, and there's a million fucking free porn sites at your fucking disposal.
Fingertips. Yep.
No, what's at your fingertips is something else. Let's be honest.
Well, all that porn could also be another contributor of why like the birth rates are always going so down. People just aren't having sex as much because you got all this readily available porn.
Well, I just made a video on this, man. Honestly, I think the beginning culprit's a fucking dollar when it really comes down to it, is the fact that your money's much more useless than it used to be. So females have to work, so people are having less kids because things cost more money. Yep. And then, like, you know, I mean, you had the wealth disparity because, you know, people who have money already have shit. So stuff starts costing more money or has more value to them as far as stocks, bonds, fucking, you know, I mean, real estate, things of that nature. And the people on the bottom, it costs more to be able to even just enter the fucking game. You know what I mean? It's like I make $85,000 a year and I'm still broke as fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's a pain in the goddamn dick. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do, and if you still like end up with fucking nothing at the end of the goddamn week when it really comes down to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Plus, let's also add into that little mixture. There's enough fucking people that grew up in poverty and kind of look back at their parents' life choices and look at their life choices, and they kind of thought to themselves, you know what? I don't need to bring a kid into this world, especially since I'm poor as shit right now. So fuck it. Let's not do that.
I would have that attitude. It wasn't for the fact that females go, oh, baby, I want to have your baby. And I'm like, fuck it. I ain't pulling out, motherfucker. We're going to get this shit done right now. I don't care. Well, that's why I have between 5 and 10 kids.
I was going to say, by the 10th kid, that's why you're broke. It's all that child support.
It's only like $1,300 a month, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? But yeah, like it comes down to the fucking currency. You know what I mean? And you can't survive when you get older. You know what I mean? Like fucking the taxes eat more and more every year. It's a pain in the dick. Like, just that's the really end all be all. And like that's why like females are in the workforce in the first place, because you can't afford to do it on one income.
The problem that I actually have with most of these subjects is that some people like to try to break it down to one source reason. And as great as that an idea as that is, and that actually makes a fuckload of sense, I'm not gonna lie, Tom. There's way too much nuance. There's way too much factors.
Oh, there's always many other reasons.
Yeah, but the dollar value, I do have to say that is a major contributor because of the fact that if you're broke, even though you're working full time above minimum wage, making like fucking, as you pointed out, like what was it, 85 grand a year? Yeah. If you're still broke and that's your fucking income, there's something wrong. And to a lot of other people, they want to save up. They want to actually, you know, get new good shit. They want the fucking best car they can actually afford. Something that's not so luxurious, but it looks fucking nice as hell. You know, they want new TVs. They want the latest games. They want all this and they want that. And like, they don't really have fucking the money for kids. So they kind of have this thought process in their head. Like, I don't got the money for kids. Fuck it. I don't need fucking kids. And,
well, it's a choice. It's a choice between kids and having shit.
Yeah. That's always the choice. Anyone who has kids, Igor can tell us.
Yes,
you can tell us. You got kids. You ain't got shit. You got kids.
Yeah. The only reason I've got a really good computer is because I use it for work.
The only reason I have a really good computer and microphone is because my fans bought it for me. You know what I mean? Like, other than that, I was making videos on a $40 cell phone from Walmart. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, yeah.
I ended up getting a cheap secondhand fucking laptop for like, you know, a third of what it actually cost originally.
Yeah, I did. This motherfucker's remanufactured and shit, but still, it cost like fucking $400 or $500, some nonsense like that. And computers have gone down in price, but like if you look at things like cars and houses and shit like that and rents, it's completely going up, and they don't count that into inflation numbers and shit. You know, like if you look at like, you know, like I make videos on the retail apocalypse that's going on right now, right? You know what I mean? Like if you look at year over year retail numbers, like they're really not spending any more money. If you count in inflation, they're actually losing fucking the amount of money that's being spent inside of the stores. You know what I mean? Like spending is going down as far as retail is concerned. If you just count in inflation, like, but they refuse to count inflation into the fucking numbers. You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, mine is completely off topic. I was speaking out loud too fast.
You know, like fucking you have like, you know, and they're like, oh man, Amazon's eating all this shit up. I'm like, no, man, Amazon only has a third of the fucking market, and like, you know what I mean, or a quarter of the market, and you know, fucking like a third of the stores have closed down. They're talking about like, what up, trippy poop? Right, fucking they're talking about fucking within the next in the next like 5 years, like 25 to 30% of all malls will close down because of how many fucking big stores are fucking leaving.
Well, and part of that, part of the big reason though for malls closing is the advent of things like, you know, Walmart online, Amazon online, and there really isn't as much of a drive. Why would I go to the mall when I can just go to Amazon, order it cheaper, and just have it sent to my house?
Well, no, they didn't suck up as much of the market that's actually left though. You know what I mean? Its spending has actually gone down.
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
Places
after
like
after the housing bubble, that really pushed down spending in general.
You know what I mean? Like people just don't have any money. Like most of the jobs that were destroyed during the fucking, you know what I mean, depression or the recession that happened back in 2008 were manufacturing jobs that paid decently. And now the jobs that came back are all like bullshit ass retail jobs, like nonsense, you know, whatever, fucking waiters and whatever the case might be.
We've created 5,000 new jobs, but they all suck.
They all pay $7.25 an hour and shit.
Yeah.
that's kind of the situation. You know, that's where everything really gets down to.
Yeah, a lot more people are in survival income, not you know, being able to enjoy their lives level of income, let alone planning for the future.
And even if you got a warehouse job nowadays, it's fucking terrible because almost every fucking warehouse runs that shit like a slave fucking yard. It's ridiculous as fuck.
Amazon is insane. Have you heard about how Amazon warehouses work? You actually have a GPS tracker on you. You have a GPS. You have a GPS tracker on you to track how quickly you get through doing your stocking.
Yo, they're not that bad. Number one, and number two, like they pay. They
fucking
pay
better than a lot of other places. Walmart warehouse. I would work warehouse Amazon over Walmart warehouse work.
Well,
Oh yeah, no, I've
Walmart
worked
pays
at Walmart.
more. Walmart pays more than the fucking Amazon does.
Really?
Yeah, Walmart pays. I think it's the start's $19.75 an hour, and
Not around
Amazon
here.
starts off at $16.50.
No, it don't.
Walmart don't pay that well around here.
Not
Well,
here either.
the warehouse, not the store, like the actual like big warehouse, like a
You mean
distribution.
like Sam's Club?
Yeah, I'm still telling you, no, it don't.
Accelerates in the chat. What up, Accelerate? What's up?
No, what I so trippy. What I was trying to say earlier is bitching witches in the chat basically saying I think it's directed at you, Tom, specifically that you need to get out of New York because it's way too fucking expensive in that fucking state, and that you should move over to Arizona. Now,
I live in Appalachia, Pennsylvania. I live up in the mountains in Pennsylvania, so
the Northeast is.
Dude, I thought you lived in Rancho Chocamungus.
yeah, I live in California.
Look,
That's where Brock
the thing
lives.
is-
He's in Rancho Chocamungus.
I have
Dude,
won the
actually
lottery.
visited a lot of different places. Look, New York is very expensive. Chicago is very expensive. But if you can actually make it, it's worth it.
Yeah, Chicago's a nice
California?
place to live.
California looks beautiful, but this state is never worth it. I'm sorry, but this fucking state is never fucking worth it because
Yep.
the people here suck so fucking badly. I hate this fucking state. I hate everything about this fucking state. I like a few cities in this fucking state, but like the city is not enough for me to actually want to stay here. I'm fucking, as soon as I can, I'm bouncing out of this state again, and I don't think I'm coming back. The only reason why I would end up coming back is fucking I just got destroyed somewhere else, and I have nowhere left to go, so I'm just gonna head back to fucking friends and family and shit. But I'm as soon as I'm able to, I'm fucking out of this state. Florida, I've never been to Florida. Apparently, it is California 2.0. It's not as bad as California, but it's California 2.0.
Man, I don't know. Like, Florida's a weird state, right? Because like, if you go to the north of Florida, like it's like white trash heaven, but like the south of Florida is like Mexico, but like for the Caribbean, what I mean, as far as like
Florida, also known as God's waiting room.
Pretty much. But I have been through Arizona. I've been in Arizona a few times, and let me tell you this. Every time I've been in Arizona, it's been in the summer. No! That's fucking Satan's taint right there. That whole fucking state is so goddamn hot.
Have you ever been to Arizona, Brockers?
I have been to Arizona multiple times.
God, it sucks there.
It sucks. It's the weather is so fucking terrible in Arizona. How anyone think that they can actually live in Arizona is beyond me. I know some people from Arizona, but that state is too fucking hot. Like I got a buddy who actually will send in private messages the forecast of the day, and when it gets in the triple digits, and it gets in the triple digits really goddamn fast, it never leaves the triple digits, even if it's fucking nighttime. And I'm just like, no. And that motherfucker lives in Phoenix, where it's the hottest of the hot.
Ugh.
Fuck that guy. No.
Magog
Look,
says he calls Florida North Cuba.
it
Northern
It is.
it is so goddamn hot there. Like I will visit, but I will never stay. That's it. I will drive through. I will fly over. I will travel through in some way. I will stay for a couple of days just to see friends and shit. But that's as far as it goes. I will never stay there for more than a fucking week unless I have to for business or some shit. But yeah, that state is way too fucking hot. I would never do that. Nevada is a bordering state to Arizona, and it is far less fucking hot in Nevada. I used to live in Nevada. Nevada is actually decent.
Dude, Arizona sucks. Like, if you don't have a car, I didn't have a car, and the closest store was like 2 miles away, and I used to walk to it in the summer.
Man, I'll tell you what, the two states that I hate, the two states I really hate going to are New Jersey and Ohio, right? if you've ever been to Ohio and you go inside of like any of like, just there's like 5 cities in Ohio, like Toledo, Cincinnati, Cleveland, fucking what's the other one? Toledo, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus. It looks like it's been in a fucking war. Like the top of the fucking buildings are missing off the fucking place and shit. I went in there one time, like I drive truck, right? So I went and I delivered like fucking loads inside of the place. And there's like fucking homeless people who walk you into the fucking security booth and go, "Oh man, I'll show you where to go." And then they demand money when you get there and shit. Right? There's like random hoodlums just sitting on the fucking street, just hanging the fuck out, listening to fucking music all over the fucking place. Like Ohio's, and then New Jersey is, I don't know what happened in New Jersey. Like, I'm assuming like at one point, like, I don't know, like they had massive riots or a fucking civil war there and they just never decided to like fucking do anything about it. But the whole fucking place is the most horrible place I've ever been to in my whole life. Like you go to Camden, and it's a whole different, like motherfuckers were selling heroin in front of my motherfucking truck while I was delivering fucking freight to one time.
Damn.
Yo, it is like a fucking shit place to be. Like Philadelphia is the same way. There's places in Philadelphia that I went into and almost ran over 2 pit bull puppies. There was like an old black dude sitting in the middle of the streets and he was dancing to music nobody else could fucking hear but him. Right? And he didn't have no fucking headphones in. They had razor wire fence around the Walmart. And then they had in front of the Popeyes, there was a fucking there was armed security guards with metal detectors and shit.
I just have visions of, all right, you want that Popeyes chicken? You got to check your guns at the door.
Like, Philadelphia,
but that
last thing, any of y'all see about that shit?
No,
Not sure.
All right, so they decided to ban bulletproof glass because it's racist.
Oh man.
And so like basically what they have like what's known as like bodegas or like fucking we call them all-nighters. Like you can go and get a fucking shot and a beer and a loose cigarette, you know what I mean? Like 6 o'clock. Well, yeah, it's a shitty neighborhood, right? You know what I mean? But like they're talking about like, so in Pennsylvania, there's a liquor control board. So you have to buy your license from the state in order to sell liquor or sell fucking beer. Right. It's an old, redundant, retarded system from back in the 1920s that the feminists set up. Right. And so you have to have seating for like 20 people. So what they do is they just stack 20 chairs in the kitchen and they go, we got seating for 20 people. Right. And that's how they skirt the fucking law. So instead of going after them on that, what they did was they said the bulletproof glass is racist. And if they can't stand it, maybe the Koreans should leave the neighborhood because they're not from there. And, you know what I mean? They have no right to do business. You know what I mean? Since the Spanish people don't have any problem in the bodegas, they don't put up bulletproof glass to protect themselves and shit.
Dude, over here, just across the road from me, there was a guy running the gas station. And like 2 or 3 years ago, some dude came running in there with a gun and, trying to rob the place. The gas station attendant throws a glass ashtray at him, hits him in the forehead, and then the guy just starts fucking opening fire. He hit him twice in the chest and one so close to his eyeball that the cashier actually had to, he lost the eye.
Right.
This motherfucker, after he got done in the hospital, asked when the next day he was working was.
Damn.
And he went back to work for 2 days. Apparently the guy was about 73 years old.
Damn.
Okay.
He went back to work for 2 days, and then they were like, you know what? It's too much of a hazard for you to be working here. What if it happens again? You don't have another, you don't want to lose your other
eye. You don't have another eye to give up.
you're going to have a hard time, like, facing those sodas with no depth perception and shit.
Yeah, dude. They gave him a big ass settlement. Like, he's set for however long, probably life, but
he's 73, so however long he lives.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a tough guy to be like, I want to go back to work.
Yeah, man, but like, this is the shit that's happening up here in the Northeast. Like, a lot of people don't hear about this type of stuff that's going on. Like, things are pretty fucked. Like everywhere you fucking go, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
When I was living in Chicago was there were just parts of Chicago I knew not to go because I was way too white.
That's like the city where I live at. That's the whole city. Like my city's 97% black.
You got
Yeah,
Igor
there
over
was
here in
a-
blackface and shit.
There was a restaurant a buddy of mine liked to go to in Chicago, and it's in a part of Chicago that's really, really bad. So what we would do is I would drive up, kick him out of the car, and then I would proceed to drive around the block a few times till he finally got the food, and then he would jump in and we'd get the fuck out of there.
Right?
I just got to say, all of us talking about, the shitty situations we found ourselves in, the terrible states and all that stuff, we are not making it very nice for Samaj to consider moving down here or even visiting.
No, he's just learning all the places not to go.
Man, look here, dude. All right, America is not the place that motherfuckers really tell you about. You know what I'm saying? There's some third world parts of America. You know what I mean? Like there's some places you ought not to step foot in. And by the way, I think I've seen your stream before, the dude with the cat ears. Don't your girl sit there like with her titties hanging out on a regular basis?
That would be on the weekends, yeah.
Memorable.
Okay, yeah, I know. I've seen your stream a couple of times. AP's been on that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by the way, I'm Tom Pinoy. I'm from Pinoy News.
Nice
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm about to be on fucking Gulf City streaming. Me and Excel setting up a stream for that joint. You know what I mean? We about to be big shit out here on motherfucking YouTube. We getting it the fuck done. Me and my bottom bitch who smokes meth in the motherfucking bathtub.
Yeah, he took off to do that earlier after he left my stream.
Samaj, are you currently writing down all the places to not go if you ever come down to America?
Don't go to any city. No cities. Just no cities. Live in a rural area.
Yeah.
Come to
You might as well just stay in Canada if that's how we're going to play this.
Well, the thing is that I plan on going to the States eventually to go to a bunch of American conventions. So I guess it's unavoidable.
True. Okay, let me put it to you this way. A couple of conventions you're going to have to visit while you're in fucking America. Obviously, Anime Expo and Comic-Con. Both are taking place in San Diego, and you will enjoy yourself. San Diego's actually not a shit city.
Yeah, there's some good Comic Cons in Chicago as well.
Yeah. The Gaslight.
Yeah.
The Gaslight District is like
There he is.
right next to the San Diego Convention Center where Comic-Con is going to be. And that's actually, it might have a bad rep at night, but you're not going to be there at night, so don't worry about that.
Now, here's what we can do, Samaj. Since I'm in Michigan, I'm right, across the bridge from you. We can go for a walk, and if it's anything like the last time I went for a walk, we'll turn down the street. You'll see a shoe. A couple of feet from that, you'll see a condom that looks like it's been used, I'm guessing. And then a couple feet from that, there's a jersey sitting on the ground. I have no fucking clue what happened.
Then after Trippy's done with that, I'll bring you over to Chicago. We'll walk down some of the alleys. I'll bring you to the south side, and you'll really get fucked up between Detroit and Chicago.
Don't go south side.
And then you can come over here to my neck of the woods over here in fucking Harrisburg, right?
If he survives south side.
You can walk around and see the fucking 12 and 13-year-olds on the fucking dirt bikes with the 12-gauge shotgun strapped to their fucking back while they're running around robbing people down in the fucking south side projects.
Yeah,
I was just going to take them down the street and go, fresh meat.
Look, at this point, my two options are either Washington or Texas. I'm not sure which state I'm going to be moving to, but basically I'm either going completely green with the fucking scenery, or I'm going where the authentic Mexican food is.
Dude,
Either
come
way,
over here.
those are two places.
Great.
Samaj, those are two places I recommend if you want to visit and stay, not just for the cons, but like just kind of hang out. Go ahead, enjoy. Just if you're in Washington, don't eat anything a stranger fucking offers you.
All right, so here's the cool thing about America, right? If you leave the cities, all right, and you get out into I was out I live out in the mountains and shit. Well, I did. I don't anymore. I'm back in the city, but I'm heading back out to the mountains again, right? I pulled a fucking shotgun on a goddamn state trooper. You know what I'm saying? Who was fucking around in my backyard and didn't announce himself on fucking private property.
Mm-hmm.
And he put his fucking hands up and went woo 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 woo. And I didn't even drop the shotgun. I asked him what the fuck he was doing there. That's America, my friend. And that's the beauty of living in this goddamn country.
Well, and if you go to Washington, go to north of Olympia. North of Olympia is going to be like the middle ground of like where they're half liberal, half Republican. Like you could like kind of have some fucking fun. Like in like that area, it's pretty fucking decent. Anything south of Olympia it's all the social justice. Like, dude, like you don't even understand. America is imperialist, and like
Pink hair.
All right. Well,
care.
well, the first couple times I'm going to go to the States, I'll be like doing a couple conventions, checking those out, that kind of stuff. One of the conventions I definitely need to check out is BlizzCon, so that's on the list of things to go to. After that, the touristy stuff I want to do, I eventually want to go, like, what's that place? Mount Rushmore, the place with all your presidents on it.
Don't pee on it. Come on.
South Dakota.
Don't pee on it.
South Dakota. You'll be near me then.
Look, I'm a Canadian. I'm not going to pee on it. I'm too polite for that.
Did you know that, Samaj, did you know that
Hold on.
Mount Rushmore was carved by lightning?
That's amazing. God must really like America.
Yeah. How it got there?
That's how you know it's God's country.
Yeah. We totally didn't, use Indians to build that.
Although I will say, I am here in Canada. I'm what's called a Métis. I'm like half Aboriginal, half white, that kind of stuff. And if I go there and I see a bunch of Indians, like doing selfies and taking pictures of Mount Rushmore while flipping the finger at the mountain, at the monument, I will piss on them.
They have their own. They have their own mountain. It's got some dude's face carved into it. I can't remember the name
We
of
also
it.
have a giant man riding a horse being carved.
Yeah.
Like these guys have monuments. They have their own thing. They can. That's fine. I mean, it's history. Stop flipping the bird. Stop tearing down statues. Stop doing all this shit. Like I said, I will piss on them. I might get my shit kicked out of me. You can't call me racist or anything like that because I'm half.
You're gonna piss on Indians?
Yeah, I'm gonna piss on Indians. I am an Indian. I'll piss on them like I'll piss on them. No, it's okay though. They'll think I'm retarded because I'll be going, "Hey, what y'all talking about?"
I don't think I've ever known Samaj to be a snow engine.
Hey, Samaj, check us out. If you're an Indian down here, right? You can hunt and fish all year round and never have to worry about buying a goddamn license.
Yep.
Yo, you got some bomb ass fuck, and you can own a casino no matter what. Like wherever you are, you can just start a blackjack fucking casino. Like, yo, just put up a card table and start playing blackjack with people, and you're good to go.
So fucking Kansas, Oklahoma, Utah, like that'd be the perfect fucking spot for you because you could set that shit up. Be like, no, motherfucker, I'm an Indian, so you can't touch my shit.
Yeah. You can go to Idaho. Just go to Idaho. Like there's lots of like spare area in Idaho. You know what I mean? Just like buy up a little plot of potato land. You know what I'm saying? And you're ready to go.
Dude, Magog in the chat said that he's going to start his own town in Arkansas called Morscar, Arkansas.
Yeah.
He says the local police of Morscar, Arkansas will greet the townsfolk with, "I used to be an adventurer like you."
Can I be your local preacher? I just want to walk around marrying people who don't want to get married.
He should start a micronation. Like start the micronation of Magog and Morsquare. Like that'd be fucking beautiful. Like two different fucking villages where it's just fucking Magog over here, Morsquare over there. So people like they fucking go to it and they're like, yeah, it's a micronation. Like fuck America. Like here we go. Like we have our own set of principles, rinse and repeat.
I do like the idea of. I mean, yeah, obviously the religion would be a part of it, big part of it. But no, I would love an idea of Morscar, Arkansas existing, like an entire city that is all like old school, old fashioned, medieval type shit all over the place. Everybody dresses in that fashion because then I can go there and dress the way I want to and not be fucking judged because I'm wearing furs and goddamn Ren Fair shit. Like,
well,
you know
not
what? Don't judge me. I want to wear this armor. I'm not gonna wear a fucking top knot. Fuck you, Ace.
Well, I mean, you run the cut stream, so you might as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Not a top knot, bastards. I was actually considering doing that at one point. I was just like, if I grow my hair out long, I could probably do a top knot at some point just for fun. And then I saw so many dudes doing man buns, and I was like, maybe
You
not.
ruined it.
You need a mohawk.
You bastards have ruined it.
Rockus needs a mohawk and some like a septum piercing that's chained to his lip.
Nah, I'm good on
You see a chain that runs down and goes into his pants, and you're like, I wonder where that leads.
I'll get a face piercing if Samaj gets a face piercing with me.
Yo, if you get a whole bunch of chains all over the place and you sneeze, is it like a fucking situation where you gotta get to the hospital?
Sounds like signal bells going off.
Fucking nose piercing goes flying across the room at 100 miles an hour. You're like,
There's blood and snot everywhere. What happened? I sneezed.
so much blood. The fucking ambulance shows up. They're like, "What the fuck? How did the blood get on the wall across the room? Why is he down on his knees holding his balls? Is he breathing?"
Let's see. Magog says it have a whole medieval town, not just for the show, but for people to live at and become permanent residents of the show and town. There is an actual town in the United States that recreated the Shire, right down to the architecture. You can get houses or a house built into a hill like the Hobbit holes. It really exists, and they are ridiculously expensive.
As the 1-2 prophet of motherfucking Jesus Christ was not a bitch made nigga, right? I am the original proprietor, and I'm gonna make that a 501c fucking church here soon, right? I want to say I want to fucking open up a branch in fucking Morscar, Arizona. I'm gonna walk around and just marry random
Arkansas.
people. I'm just gonna walk up and hand them paperwork and go, "I now pronounce you man and wife," and just walk the fuck away. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a banana in my hand. There's not even a person here. What's wrong with you?
It's entirely too hot in Arizona to have more scar. Come on, everybody's gonna be out of. Yeah, nobody's gonna be able to wear their robes or their heavy chainmail and shit. It's too hot there. That's why he said Arkansas.
Oh wait, is it Arkansas? Or
Yeah, it's
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas is
Yeah.
fucking hot as balls too.
Yeah, Arkansas
yeah.
is fucking hot, dude. Like, and it's full of alligators and like poor people, and the roads are terrible. And it like, that's like the home of like all the major corporations of America and shit for some reason.
Yeah, like okay.
Taxes.
If anyone's wondering, dry heat exists almost exclusively in the desert states.
Yeah.
So that would basically be Arizona, Nevada, at least half of California. I would say a good
Texas.
portion of Texas.
Yeah, half of Texas. Because if you go to the fucking west side of Texas, it's dry as fuck. But if you go to the east or west side, it's fucking hot as shit with the humidity. So like they have that weird fucking middle ground.
Yeah, because eventually, if you go to the northeast area of Texas, you're going to pretty much where Kansas and Oklahoma are.
Like I live in Texarkana, Texas, which is literally fucking. It's a border town of Texas and Arkansas. And fucking like it's weird as shit because the border of fucking Arkansas and Texas literally goes right through the fucking city. But like fucking it was humid as shit out there, and like we had fucking gators. Like it was a little swampy. Like there was a gator that was on the fucking street, and I fucking had to get out. It was only like maybe 4 feet long.
Stab that gator. Make some shoes.
Yeah. No, I had to fucking grab him, and I had some electrical tape at the house because I went right back to the fucking house. I was like, fuck this shit. I am playing with this ass at least if I could get some electrical tape to fucking tie his mouth shut. But I had to move him off the fucking road because he was just sunbathing in the middle of the fucking road. And like we had fucking different little swamps and shit. So like fuck that shit. Like fuck gators, fuck the humidity, like the swamp assness, because like when I walk back out of the fucking house, there's already sweat fucking dripping down from my fucking asshole to my fucking knee crack. Like the humidity is one thing, but like dry heat, like I'm cool with that. Let's go out to fucking Arizona.
No.
Yo, look here, man. Have you ever seen the bugs in the South, dude? The bugs in the South are gigantic.
I live in the South right now. I live on the border of Kentucky and Tennessee. So like the bugs are like non-fucking stop. Like I've been fucking raging fucking for I don't know the past like month and a half. Like just trying to kill every single fucking bug in my goddamn fucking house. But no. Like between the spiders, the beetles, fucking we got flies in the fucking house. Like I have 8 different fucking traps set up for fucking flies. And they will not fucking go away. Like I was running around earlier. wife was fucking sitting there going, "What are you doing?" And I was just beating the fucking walls, trying to chase down fucking flies. And she was like,
Ah, you
"What?"
son of a bitch!
Yeah, fuck you. And she's like, "Are you okay?"
Flies are only part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not just flies. Like there's like you know what a Helgamite is?
Yeah.
Samaj, have you ever seen a Helgamite?
Never even heard of it.
No.
Yo,
me
a
neither.
Helgamite is an insect. I can't believe fucking Trippy didn't. You live by the lake, right? Yo,
Yeah.
a Helgamite is about 7 inches long, and it's all wings, and then like an ant head with a giant pair of pincers on the fucking.
Oh, I've
front
seen
of it.
these before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, it's called a Helgamite. We use them for fishing and shit up here, like especially the babies, because the babies look like something out of the fucking
Somebody Googled it.
Yes.
Tom.
What nightmare did this fucking crawl out of?
Yo, that's
think
the baby. That's the baby. You got to look at the adult, the one with the wings, right? And like find like a way you can show how big it is, because like the one with the wings is massive.
This is like some Wrath of Khan.
Dude, that looks like my picture. Yo, make that picture big.
Oh,
fucking present
there's a
yourself.
picture of it in a hand with the wings and
Is
everything.
that my
I just
fucking
found it.
picture? Because that looks like my goddamn picture.
Maybe.
Say
What
something
if he
about
doxes me?
This looks like the earwig from Wrath of Khan, as Samaj was saying.
No, that's not me. That's not mine. That's
Here
a
you
rock
go.
bass stuff. That's a nice little rock bass. Yeah.
Here's a picture of it with the wings,
Yeah,
and it's
Oh.
somebody's hand.
I found the same
And it-
one.
It looks
Yeah.
kind of delicious, man. I eat it.
Yo, look at Trippy Poop. Look at Trippy Poop right now.
Here's
Yeah.
the one with the
Oh,
magic stick.
Do you see this? This is one of many insects that are this size down south.
Mhm.
Igor's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be my nightmare.
Yo, that is everywhere down south.
Oh
I have
yeah.
a
But real
feeling-
quick, Nanika in the chat says, "Tell that Tom I don't believe in his God," and I said hi.
I have a
Chicken.
weird feeling that
Hang on.
Magog is seeing the pictures of these bugs and is like suddenly having fucking like flashbacks to some war.
Oh, he
that
probably
had
looks at it and
bugs
says,
shit.
"That ain't shit."
Like,
He's probably like, "That ain't shit."
He's triggered and he's just like, oh my god.
He's
Dude,
been around them big ass
you've never
fucking
seen
sand
blood.
spider things.
I don't. Oh my god. He's traveled the world and he has seen worse bugs overseas. It's just terrible.
He was like
Camel spiders.
fighting around
Camel
the world.
spiders, they are fucking so awesome because
Camel spider.
oh yeah, they'll fucking destroy so many different like lizards and different shit like that. Like that was one of the things, like fucking being overseas, like we would capture fucking camel spiders just to
Fuck 'em.
watch them fuck up different fucking lizards and different fucking insects. Like
hell no.
I hate to say the funniest video. I wish I had saved it. They ever saw though was a bunch of. It was their first tour of duty, and in the Middle East, and just this swarm of camel spiders comes up over the hill, and for whatever reason, it's just hundreds of them, and they all these hardened soldiers just started panicking and emptying their M16s into the fucking camel spiders.
Screaming
It
like,
was on-
"I hate
Oh.
these 8-legged freaks." They're 10-legged, but yeah. There's the thing for you there, Brockus. I mean, that's probably on a woman's hand. I think. I don't know. I can't really tell. Camel spider.
I
There
think
you go.
the worst thing I've ever seen involving camel spiders, you might want to cover your ears for this there, Brockus, was actually an episode of Fear Factor
Mhm.
when they actually made the contestants eat a camel spider.
Nope.
Was it
Yeah.
alive?
Yes, it was alive. And
Hmm.
I kind of laughed because, all right, so the guys, it was like guys versus girls kind of thing. So the guys go first, and they eat the bottom half first. God, that's horrifying. They eat the little.
Is it a frog?
that is-
Yeah.
you go, that's what I'm talking about. Like they'll fucking destroy some shit.
Yeah, dude, they'll fuck up some lizards and
fuck yeah.
frogs,
Aren't
whatever
they
they
like
can
a
get
used to
into.
look-
He's a scorpion or something like
Yeah,
that.
they're
They're not
actually more closely related to a scorpion, and they're also known as a wind scorpion.
What the fuck is this? It's even got little things.
I will
It's got-
not look at the nightmare.
But
It's a
the
camel, man.
reason why they have the name camel spider is because the lore of them is they will go under the camel's belly and they will bite into it and they will suck and bite within the flesh. So it's a camel spider because they like to chew on fucking camels. But the thing about fucking camel spiders is they fucking love shadows during the day because the desert is so fucking hot. They're not really known for fucking burrowing. So one time when fucking I was over there, we had a dude who was a mechanic. He was under a fucking vehicle and it was outside. A camel spider came under the fucking vehicle and he freaked out. He jumped up out of the fucking vehicle, started to run, and then the camel spider started chasing him because he wanted to be within the shadow because the shadow was fucking cooler than the goddamn fucking heat that was coming off of the sun. So, that's what people kind of get fucked up about the camel spider, wind scorpion, but at the same time, those bitches are fucking hilariously fucking awesome. They will fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
I hate bugs. I fucking hate all bugs. God damn it, Trick! Fuck you.
I'm just hold on a minute. I gotta find that other one. It'll make us laugh. We'll call it a pal.
They can be found all over the East Coast of the United States. I actually ran into one of these the other day when I was fucking fishing. These motherfuckers here will scare the bullshit out of you when you fucking find them and shit. And they're all over the fucking South.
All right, I don't want to talk about bugs anymore. I want to talk about fucking Superman.
Wait, Ruckus.
I want to talk about no, I'm not looking at the screen.
Now we know what really killed Superman. It was Spider-Man.
If we keep going, fucking Brockus is gonna be sitting there going, "No, I wanna go to sleep. My fucking dreams."
Oh no! I just hate insects. I don't like
Brockus,
them crawling on me. I don't like them
camel.
near me. I will kill them all.
Here, I'll switch to where it's just the camel, so you don't have to see any spiders.
Dude, I don't trust you. I'm not even looking at that screen.
It's such a cool little thing. It's got 2 legs. It's just a camel. He's just, I don't know. He doesn't look like he could live, but
no, it's fine. I know I'm risking going to areas that have bigger, fucking nastier bugs and shit by moving out of California, but I still, again, this state is not worth it. It's never worth it.
Death of Superman. I actually watched that earlier today because we were going to talk about it, so I thought, wow, because it was in the topics. So I thought, I better watch this just so I know what it's talking about. I gotta say, overall, it's a kind of bland movie. I imagine, because I actually never read the Death of Superman comic, I imagine it's fairly faithful and accurate. Although I will say this, they decided to go with the New 52 way of design. So
yeah.
So does Blue Beetle die in it?
He's not even in it. So
he's like one of the first guys to die at the hands of Doomsday in the Death of Superman saga. He is fighting Doomsday, and he's like, "Yeah, I think we can stop him," and gets punched once, and that's it. He's dead.
Well, yeah. So the only Justice League people that were in there was Green Lantern, the Flash, Wonder Woman, obviously, Superman, Batman. I for some reason I'm spacing out his name. The Hawk guy. Hawkman?
Hawkman. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. And that's pretty much it. I guess if you want, you can count Lex Luthor in there because he's technically trying to save the day, but really he was a villain. And I do want to say, since I'm talking about Lex Luthor, for some reason, the actor they got to play him almost sounds like Skeletor. He sounds like a fucking petty
I'll get
child.
you next time, Superman.
Damn you, Superman! I will rule this planet one day.
Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but I mean, if you ever see him on there, he doesn't sound like Lex Luthor you're used to, which is probably because they've changed all the actors, and the guy who's playing Superman sounds like a fucking teenager, which makes no sense. So yeah, it's a weird selection.
I'm a little. I will say this much: I'm a little hurt that you didn't remember Hawkman's name. Just
who the fuck is Hawkman?
I hate everybody on the stream.
I know who it was.
I know, Igor. You're fine. Hawkman is one of the most underrated fucking characters in DC history. He is a fucking badass from the days of the Justice Society back in the old golden age of comic books.
Yeah, because he got replaced by Hawk Girl, the one with the tits.
Well,
Oh, I know who that bitch is. The one with the fucking she got the Vanos head and shit.
kinda.
She got the Vanos gaming head. You know who Vanos gaming is?
Oh yeah, the Vanos, yeah. I know
Yeah,
Vanos is. Yeah, basically, both Hawkman and Hawkgirl are now, Hawkgirl specifically is a Thanagarian, and the Thanagarians are basically people who evolved from essentially hawks on their planet, and they have bird wings. They're highly aggressive. They're some of the world's most badass warriors. All that stuff. Carter Hall, however, and Shaira are actually the reincarnations of an ancient Egyptian priestess and prince, and they were cursed because there was a priest who was jealous of their love, and because the priest wanted Shaira for himself, and their love was technically not supposed to be. He eventually cursed them and kind of followed them throughout time. They were forever bound to find each other, fall in love, and then die. That was all they were meant to do, and be reincarnated every single fucking time. Once they died, they were reincarnated again, and they would eventually find each other, fall in love, and die, and they would always die in horrific ways. Shadow Man specifically was the one who had originally cursed them and hunted them down to ensure their deaths would always be horrific. But that curse was lifted in the New 52 and such. Real quick, though, Mr. LM002 for $5, 12 gauge loaded with bird shot and a flamethrower. Fuck all the spiders, burn them all. I love the South, but fuck the bugs. Death to all eight-leggers. I agree. 100%. Burn them all.
Bro, do you remember when Thanos was trying to find the anti-life equation?
Oh my god. Even I know that. Fuck you.
Yo, man, wasn't Thanos that guy? He fucking chased the Silver Surfer and shit.
Actually, yes.
Oh, you got one because those are both Marvel characters.
Yeah, and Thanos did at one point chase the Silver Surfer because the Silver Surfer kept thwarting his plans.
No, I was talking in the movie.
No,
okay, that never happened in the movie, motherfucker.
Sony.
Well, as soon as the Fox deal goes through, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, the person who beats Thanos in the next Avengers movie will be the Silver Surfer. But
You know what, dude? Fucking Disney's gonna fuck around and accidentally buy Disney.
Who can we buy this? Let's buy
An internal coup.
Yeah, if that dude didn't donate that $5 and you were done talking about Hawk Girl, I was gonna be like, I don't know what you said there, little kid. I'm gonna tell you what, you touched my heart.
I'm an uber nerd. Like I don't know probably as much about certain characters in DC as a fanboy of DC like Magog does, but I know my fair amount. I know quite a bit of DC. In fact, I'm actually, for a long time, I was a secret fan of DC. I just never let anyone know because most of the people in my life were like, Marvel's the shit, Marvel's the best, it's all about Marvel. Although I do have this one friend who can't seem to make up his fucking mind. He's like a 21-year-old girl trying to decide whether she wants to fuck this guy or not. Because this guy, my buddy, he would consistently jump from one comic book company to another. When I met him, it was all about Image Comics. Spawn was the shit. There's nothing better than Spawn. Then, like a couple of years go down the line, he's in college, I'm in college, whatever. Well, I was there temporarily. But he's in college and he's talking about how DC's the shit. Superman's the best. There's no one better than Superman. And then fucking a few years go down the line, this motherfucker, he goes, by the way, he was saying Superman's the best while he was turning into an SJW. He goes up north, deals with the real SJWs, the real feminists of Humboldt County, eventually comes back down to SoCal, and he's got the most deep-seated hatred I think I've ever seen anyone fucking have. Like, the dude didn't just get red-pilled, he shoved a red pill suppository up his ass while swallowing an entire bottle of red pills. Like, that's what happened to him. And so now it's all about Marvel, and Marvel's the best, and it's just Marvel's cool, DC sucks ass, fuck Batman, fuck Superman. And I'm like, weren't you not but 5 years ago telling me how fucking amazing Superman is? This was also during my days of I hate Superman, before I understood the character. And he fucking bugs the shit out of me because he can't ever stay consistent to one thing. And I'm like, I like them all. Why can't I just fucking like them all? Jesus fuck.
But the problem with comics is they themselves can't stay consistent in quality anymore.
Speaking of consistency, Will Honorless says, Brockus, do you remember when Luke faced off against Thanos on the Enterprise?
Fuck yourself, Will. You can fuck yourself too, Trippy, for fucking conveying that message. Asshole.
Yo, was that before or after Cisco fucking gave the fucking helm of fucking Deep Space Nine to fucking Wolverine?
Shit, I think I remember that.
Yeah, man. Fucking Logan came on. He didn't remember nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then
hey, there is a crossover between the Green Lantern Corps and the Star Trek.
Oh, God damn it. Mr. LM002 for $2 says, Trip, you still have Sarah linked on your about page. Oops. Oops. Let me fix that right now. Thanks, Mr. LM. I never would have looked.
Like, I'm gonna tell you what, I think I did comic books properly, right? I read them for maybe 2 years when I was 10, and then I watched the X-Men cartoon show for a while back in the 90s. And that was the extent of my experience with comic books. And then I got to remember it fondly, and I don't have to bitch about it today. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not reading them today. And I watch the movies and I go, they suck balls, but my shit still rocks because I fucking like what the hell I had back in the day. I think that's how you're supposed to do comic books. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? You just give them up for a while, and let them go, as a kid. And then as an adult, you can remember them fondly and be okay with it. You know what I mean? And you got your story that you can tell.
It's a shame the comics aren't of that quality anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you stop fucking reading them, you don't have to worry about them being fucking of any quality because you don't give a fuck.
I don't care anymore. I don't read them anymore.
You know what I mean? Fucking because the X-Men used to be the shit. You know what I mean? Back in the day. Fucking that X-Men cartoon was probably one of the finest cartoons ever made in the history of mankind, other than maybe Squidbillies. You know what I mean?
Squidbillies.
Squidbillies was my favorite. That's my favorite fucking cartoon.
I love
show
that.
Ever.
Love that Juggalo episode.
Yo, the good one. The good one.
I wonder why, Trippy.
I don't know. I don't know either, man.
No, I love comic books too much to ever just fully give them up. I might take breaks here and there. I might go on a hiatus every once in a while, but I'm too much of a fan of comic books. I eventually want to make my own damn comic books one of these days. I've been working on several for a long time, but most of the time it's either my art sucks or I have no one to fucking help me, whatever the case is. So it's just,
What? I know it's like music, right? You have music that you like, right? Mm-hmm. You had music you grew up with that it was really good. I'm assuming most of y'all grew up in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly.
Right. We all grew up in the fucking 90s and we had amazing music and amazing athletes to watch on TV. And fucking everybody
Jordan was the shit.
This is Michael Jordan, Joe Montana, Wayne Gretzky, fucking Bo Jackson. You name a fucking sport, I'll name you an athlete that was better than anybody that does it today. You know what I mean? And we all had this great shit. That's why I stopped following baseball. I stopped following basketball. I stopped following comic books. I'm not concerned with what they're doing with music anymore. You know what I mean? Because I have my shit that's great and I just keep that because what the fuck does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Our shit's always going to be better than their shit, and we can't expect these retards to keep up with what the hell we had. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. No point even fucking arguing it anymore because the new generation is garbage. These SJWs fucking suck who took over everything. We're not going to get what the hell we used to have. Just hold tight to what we had. You know what I mean? And you could probably drag it remotely back to where it's supposed to be rather than arguing about the new shit that's fucking terrible. You know what I mean? Just go, hey, look, this is what it's supposed to be, you fucking moron, and just read that shit and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because you got a good 10 years worth of comic books and you can read it and then restart 10 years later and read it and it'll still be new because it was 10 years later.
As much sense as that makes, I don't fully agree with it. Only because it's not even necessarily that what the SJWs are doing, with comic books and stuff like that. It's never going to get better than what we had in the 90s. It's true, because what we had in like the early 90s, the mid 90s, and even the fucking late 90s, we had a bunch of really kick-ass shit. The 80s and even some of the 70s, they gave us the blueprints to, improve on the craft, to improve on what we eventually fell in love with. And the 90s was basically top tier fucking comic books. We had Spawn. We had good Spawn, not shit Spawn that turned into garbage. We had the X-Men. We had the badass version of the X-Men. We had the badass version of the Avengers. We had badass versions of Superman and Batman. We had all kinds of cool shit going on in the 90s and stuff, and then the 2000s rolls around, and it was still good. It was still fucking amazing. The comic books continued on, the stories continued on, and sometimes, they had to get rebooted. Sometimes the universe had to get restarted, whatever the case was. What I have a problem with is that these fucking SJWs are no longer just satisfied with continuing the route, just following the fucking formula and actually keeping up with how it's good and everything like that. Now they have to reach back into the blueprint and alter the fucking thing entirely. Now they are basically going back and saying, well, you were wrong, even though it was the 80s and it was a different time and people thought differently. We're going to take this and we're going to improve on it. Look at Thundercats Roar, for example. That is a fucking shit fest about to happen.
Dude.
Because the fucking assholes are like, I don't like the original, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new version of a thing I don't even like.
No. They can't come up with something original is the issue.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to ring the cash register. That's all the fuck that's about. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that they don't like the original. It's just they want to ring the cash register because they know guys like you are going to fucking watch it and bitch, and then it's going to raise the fucking, everybody's going to go, oh, well, let's see how bad it is. And then you're going to get more fucking views on it, and people are going to watch it. It's going to raise the fucking news thing, and there's no such thing as bad publicity. I'm saying, just don't pay the fuck attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Just let it go. Let it die, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes shit needs to die in order for it to get better, and the longer we hold on to the fucking, we try to continue to go, oh man, this should be better, the worse it's going to get. I think, me personally, with music, right? Don't fucking listen to new garbage that's trash. You know what I'm saying? Listen to good shit and support stuff that fucking works. Just don't support shit that's fucking terrible. There's a reason why, American car sales are on a fucking decline. They fucking suck. You know what I mean? Or car sales in general, they fucking suck today. The one was doing well, fucking, the Dodge Charger, fucking the Chevy Camaro, stuff they're bringing out that is still good. That fucking people still want. Big horsepower, fucking, there's no fucking replacement for displacement. So I'm a car guy, I'm a sports guy, that type of shit. And they're ruining football, and everybody knows they are. It's just, you got to support what's good. You know what I mean? And fucking just don't support what's bad. Don't watch the new Thundercats. You know what I mean? If it comes out and everybody goes, it wasn't that bad, and then maybe you can watch it. But if it comes out and go, this is an SJW shit fest, don't even pay no attention to it. You know what I mean?
It's like a fucking Steven Universe with people that look like cats. That's what it's going to turn into. Well, the bad Steven Universe. I'm sure there's some. I don't know. People seem to like that show.
All
but
Steven Universe is shit. Don't even fucking pretend like there might be something
it's like constant.
good out of it. It's all garbage.
All the main characters are all lesbians. It's kind of
once they took away Metalocalypse and Squidbillies and fucking 12-ounce mouth.
Metalocalypse.
Right? Yeah, we all did. We all loved these shows. Samurai Jack.
That show needed another season.
What did?
Right?
Metalocalypse.
Once they took it away, guess what I did? I canceled my Comcast subscription.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I liked? That was I don't know, not everybody knows about it, but Afro Samurai.
That was all right.
I thought it was cool.
No,
the art style was really good. I just never really got into it.
There's all types of good shit that used to be, and if you support it, they'll bring it back, or fucking they'll try to bring shit more towards that. Support stuff that's good, and don't give any fucking heed to any of this shit that's terrible, and let it fucking die. Because SJWs don't buy shit.
Mm-hmm.
We've all noticed this with comic books and shit.
And they'll take a picture of it, of them holding it at the comic shop, and then they'll put it back on the rack and walk out.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan. Look what I just held.
That's not actually entirely true, sadly. Like,
didn't they cancel all those SJW comics?
No. Well, yes, but guess what they ended up doing anyways? Repurposed those same characters that failed and brought 3 of them back, only to send the rest of them to a brand new comic book that's about to come out, because Marvel knows the number ones are always the highest selling fucking books out there. So they're going to push as many number ones as they possibly can. I was very hopeful with when CB Cebulski was announced to actually become the new chief and editor of Marvel, because I've always known CB Cebulski to be a man of business. If it's wrong for business, then he's not going to fucking have it, which is why he axed the America Chavez fucking comic book. Why he axed this comic, that comic book.
This just in. Magog just reached his $5,000 Kickstarter or GoFundMe goal for bringing more Scar to life.
Badass.
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
Congratulations, Magog.
Congrats.
Sexy bitch.
Anyways, back to the other shit. So like a lot of those books, they did get canceled, and that actually was a thing. Here's the problem. When we found out Mark Waid was being removed from Captain America, he was being replaced by a guy who actually despises white people and America specifically. The guy who's now writing for fucking Captain America hates white people and despises America. Let that sink in.
Oh my
Iceman's
God.
comic book has now come back and is about to get a new issue number 1.
Again, like, yo, we have to stop supporting shit like this.
We're not supporting them. This is what I'm getting at. We are not actually supporting them. They're basing this off of the free fucking downloads from online as to their popularity.
Lord.
They're forcing us to believe, or they're trying to force us to believe that them shipping out X amount of fucking comic books to the stores, which are forced to them by them, or even just do it for free and stuff like that, counts towards their sales numbers. They are hiding the fact that no one is actually supporting these books, with the exception of maybe the 5,000 SJW comic book readers out there that actually did give in because they were pretty much told or bullied to fucking give in and shit like that. There isn't enough people actually buying these books, with the exception of maybe the number 1, to actually make this a good business deal. But Marvel is consistently trying to hide that fact as often as they can. Go look at Diversity in Comics or Captain Cummings channels. They cover this so often, and yet nothing has been changed. They have dropped so badly that Marvel's only reason for not going bankrupt right now is because of Disney. But Disney is so pissed off at Marvel that Disney is actually probably going to start making a lot of fucking changes. However, again, it's Disney. There's probably some kind of contract that tells them that they can't control Marvel too much, even though they own the company. So it's just, it's one of those situations.
They very well could just go, listen, guys, they're not dumb enough to not put in some sort of clause in there where if they're not showing some sort of return on investment, they can't turn around and go, hey, this has been great, but we own you, so we're going to close you, move some of your artists and writers into our own department, and we're going to start Marvel Disney Comics or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just Marvel Disney fucking online, something along these type of lines. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Real quick super chat. Mr. LM002 for $2. Anyone see the new Samurai Jack season? 'Twas dark. I saw tidbits of it here and there, Mr. LM, and that was a pretty fucking dark comeback. I'm not gonna lie, it was interesting.
I saw the joint with the female.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like it was interesting. I never really saw anything other than Jack and the assassin that was pretty much like traveling with him.
Oh, come on, Trippy.
What? That wasn't me. That was my cat.
Yeah.
That was my cat.
Fucking, but yeah, like, yo, as I said, we all stopped supporting Cartoon Network once they started putting out garbage. You know what I mean? That's why like most of their shit's like fucking going down the drain.
Yeah, dude,
like,
look at fucking Nickelodeon, right? All they were showing for the longest time was just SpongeBob reruns.
Yeah. That was their mainstay.
all the cool shit left. Like when we lost Angry Beavers and Rockabus Modern Life and Doug. I think almost everybody I knew that even watched some stuff on there was like, yeah, no, fuck this. Because it was all SpongeBob by then, and then the Rugrats went away, you know?
Well, they brought Rugrats back, but then it was like them as teenagers.
All
it was
grown
terrible.
up.
That was
and
awful.
then they really, it came out at the right time. Now is probably not so much.
Yeah.
No. As I said, man, I mean, like, yo, we set the market. It is what it is. If we stop supporting garbage, I mean, just like fucking like punish their regular series for what they're doing with their SJW shit and let it be known that's what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Fucking
Oh, then
yes.
they accuse you of being sexist and racist and
Fuck it,
insert
eat
any
it.
other.
Eat it. Eat it. Say, yes, we are, and we don't want your feminist garbage around here.
Well, that's what's
Take
happening.
that pussy
That
bullshit
is
out
what's
there.
happening.
Yeah.
It's changing slowly.
It's like for the longest time, there was a very vocal minority and a very silent majority, and now the majority is starting to actually open their mouths.
Yeah, the majority have actually spoken up, and they have basically said, no more, fuck this, I don't want it anymore, all that stuff. The reason why Marvel and SJW Marvel specifically continues to stay in the minds and on the lips of everybody that actually, talks about comic books is simply because the fans have finally fucking had enough, and it's taken to the comic book shops. There have been comic book shops that have shut down because they're not selling books anymore, and they have basically closed because they don't have anything other than the SJW Marvel and stuff and a bunch of indie shit and nobody gives a fuck about. It's gotten bad. It's gotten really fucking bad. And what's Marvel's response? Fuck you, pay me. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They can actually stay afloat now.
They really think that the demographics are going to switch that much, and it's not true. Like they're not looking at it they're not looking at the demographics properly. Like they're looking at the demographics of where the fuck they are, right? Like, and like I made videos on this how like they go, oh, white people are going extinct. That's not true. Liberal white people are going to fuck extinct.
Yeah.
Like, conservative white folks like me, like, dude, as I said, I got between 5 and 11 kids, depending on which female you fucking talk to. You know what I'm saying? I got another one on the way right now. You know what I'm saying? Yo, on some serious shit, dude. Yo, fucking conservative people are having 3 kids apiece. It's just liberals aren't having any. They're not going to have an audience to sell these fucking comics to.
No, dude, you know what would happen if the liberals were having kids? The kids would grow up and be like, yeah, fuck you. I don't like the things that you do or say. But the bitching witch in the chat says there's a Rocco's Modern Life movie coming out.
I'm done. I don't even want to fucking see it.
No, it's really what he was talking about is like the fucking liberals are going to have one kid and they're going to fucking raise that kid to know that there's no genders and you can be anything that you fucking want, blah, blah, blah. Like,
and then they get on the internet and get red pilled and their parents will have a heart attack.
And like fucking, I would say I'm more of the conservative leaving and all that shit. Like, I have 3 fucking kids. Like, I'm a fucking gun nut. Like, I will fucking fully admit, like, I fucking love weapons. I love the Second Amendment. Like, I will be the first person who goes, if you want to learn about firearms, I will fucking teach you because that's my fucking job. Like, that's my normal fucking job. I teach people how to fucking shoot firearms. But, like, I don't fucking discriminate. And that's the other big thing that fucking people get fucked up about it. Like,
this next generation is more conservative than any since the fucking World War I generation.
I did want to say something real quick before we get off the topic of like the kids. So a lot of these kids that are being raised by these ultra progressive liberal parents, whatever, these kids in particular, they aren't listening to their parents. They hear all these talk about multiple genders and whatnot, and these children, like really young kids, as young as like 5 years old, are completely rejecting that. They don't believe them. They think that their parents are lying. They grasp male and female, but but all these multi-gender things they don't grasp. And a lot of these teachers are also saying, like, they can't seem to drive home the idea of the multi-gender whatever other trans nonsense because the kids aren't believing them. Like, as much as they try, the kids just can't follow it. There's no logic behind there.
No, the kids can't fucking understand that because when they go to school, they see fucking, okay, this is a female, this is a male. And just like in normal everyday interaction, like they don't get exposed to the different shit that us like 20, 30, 40, 50-year-olds see on the fucking internet of like the whole cisgender, transgender, whatever the fuck, any fucking gender that you want to fucking call it.
And these kids are on the internet from the age of like 3.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's a fucking difference, right? So like my oldest is 7 years old. The most that she knows about fucking YouTube is I could go and find music that I like. That's it.
Mhm.
Like she doesn't fucking know how to work a tablet. She doesn't know how to work my goddamn fucking iPhone. None of that goddamn bullshit. Like, no. Fuck you. We're not fucking playing this game of I'm not letting fucking internet raise you. I'm not fucking letting you play with fucking technology in that sense. Like, you're going to be a goddamn fucking kid. And not only that, I'm going to fucking explain to you that there are 2 genders because of biology. Like, science is a real fucking thing. And like, I'd rather have my kids fucking understand science, biology, like these fucking main fucking factors versus some fucking stupid ass goddamn liberal fucking teacher go, oh, well, you're all purple penguins and we all love each other. There's just
Purple
really
penguins.
no gender.
Yeah, dude. No genitals. I mean, janitors. Shit. I said janitors.
Well, you know,
There's no genders,
As-
god damn it.
as a pan gender Bolivian flute playing fucking gorilla-kin, right?
In a wheelchair.
You know what I mean? Whose proper pronoun is a pimp named Slickback. Yes, please say the whole thing. Yes, even the pimp name part. I want to say, you know what I'm saying? You know, that you're offending my motherfucking gender fucking sensitivities at the moment. But secondly, you know what I mean? Yo, the internet's a goddamn tool, okay? And that's all it really is. The internet is I swear to God, if I had the internet when I was a fucking kid like we have it now, dude, I'd have been a fucking millionaire by now on some serious shit. Like, man, this shit's a beautiful tool. My kids can all fucking negotiate the goddamn internet. They can all change a fucking carburetor. You know what I mean? They can all fucking fold their own fucking laundry. They can do the fucking dishes. They can cook a fucking meal. Every last one of them know how to clove garlic. All of them know how to fucking dice a fucking onion. They all know how to make a fucking basic Italian fucking meal. Like, yo, you got to teach them all this shit. You know what I mean? And give them the skills and ability to move forward in life. And the ability to fucking use the internet is just one part of that. And that's something that I think is highly important as far as shit's concerned. And yeah, my kids stand here and they watch fucking, you know, me bullshit in the fucking YouTubes and whatnot. I take my 10-year-old like, here, take a tablet, you know what I'm saying? Go watch something. I'm gonna fucking, you know, make dinner, or I'm gonna fucking, you know, handle what I gotta handle at the fucking house. I gotta fucking do the dishes or clean some shit, whatever it is, you know what I mean? I gotta fucking do at the moment. I ain't got a fucking problem going here, man. You know what I mean? Fucking enjoy your goddamn self, because that's what the fuck you're supposed to do. You're a goddamn kid, for fuck's sake. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, yo, they know the situation, and you know, my kids will watch shit that their fucking moms won't let them fucking watch. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Fucking, because I'm fucking dad, and I know that my fucking sons are old enough to fucking be able to handle somebody cursing on the goddamn internet, because they hear me. I make my sons translate what I say. I tell my kids, I'm gonna whoop your motherfucking ass. What I just tell you? So you're gonna beat my butt? Yo, they translate that shit. They know the situation. They know the difference. Man, I have faith in my motherfucking youngins. So fuck the bullshit.
It's one thing to sit there and go, hey, you know, fucking, you could watch this shit. Like, fucking, yeah, I'm going to train you. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to raise you up with the level of respect and understanding of like how to fucking fold your own clothes, you know, make your own meals and different shit like that. Like, fucking, I know 20-year-olds who are in the military right now that fucking every Sunday they come over to my house and me and my wife teach them how to fucking make a different fucking meal, because they literally know nothing. They were a part of that fucking generation that was a part participation trophies. They fucking didn't learn anything. Like, their fucking parents just threw like YouTube at them and they were like, oh yeah, have some fun. Like, no, like fucking, like I could have respect for somebody who goes, this is what I'm trying to teach you, but at the same time understand where I'm coming at, where like you're getting that knowledge and understanding from. But like this person, and like I know a few different individuals like that who know nothing about fucking doing their own laundry, cooking for themselves, doing anything like that. Like my wife and I literally had to fucking explain to them how to boil fucking noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how fucking sad is that? You're fucking 20 years old. You're supposed to be a grown-ass fucking adult,
desk, man.
and you cannot fucking boil noodles for your fucking self? Are you kidding me?
Better just make sure that the damn desk is level.
Oh, that was the first thing I did before I even fucking told them about boiling noodles. I was like, listen, what you need to do is you need to go to Walmart, get $3 level, and fucking level your desk.
This motherfucker the other night was flipping out. Igor, he saw my clock and he was like, man, Trippy, fucking move that shit, cut hair to the left and make that shit straight and level.
All right,
Man, look,
later, guys.
I mean, yeah,
Later, man.
I meet females who are feeding their fucking kids raw hot dogs out the freezer.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
they're women, people are women in particular, but people are fucking horrible. All right, I get it, but you got to change yours. You know what I'm saying? Make yours better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's the best you can do.
I was
Like-
actually still playing sports when they started trying to implicate the participation trophy bullshit.
You gave
I
so
was,
many people brain damage, brothers.
dude. Like, okay, here's the thing. When I was playing Little League, it was fine for just about anyone who was in the special needs league and all that stuff. Participation trophy and all that stuff didn't matter who won. Everybody's a winner for them.
Right.
That's fine because obviously, special needs and shit. That's cool. I agreed to that. I was like, yeah, that's fine. But when I was my team was actually fucking winning the league every goddamn season. When we were getting the fucking #1 trophy, I'm looking over at the motherfuckers we kicked the shit out of every single fucking time because they were a bunch of little crybaby bitches getting trophies. I was just like, what the fuck? Why did you guys get trophies? Because we played in the league? Fuck you. You didn't win shit. Our team won shit. The fuck? I hated that. It was fucking stupid. And I would not be surprised if a lot of those kids eventually grew up to fucking think that they were somehow fucking entitled to some garbage. Like, oh, I deserve this because, I'm a part of this. No, you don't just deserve shit because you're a part of something. Fuck off back to your corner, you bitch.
I mean, I got sons and they play sports. You know what I'm saying? Like my oldest son, I actually had to pull him out because he had like fucking 3 concussions playing football and shit. But fucking the one game he had 25 fucking tackles in the game and they lost because the rest of his team fucking didn't want to fucking play. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man, look, I'm not even gonna motherfucking knock you. You know, like, yo, we going out for ice cream because you handled your goddamn business today. You know, you fucking did what you were supposed to fucking do. Like, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I'm fucking like, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, we all got fucking participation trophies when we were fucking kids, but we were good at what we did and we won fucking games and they kept fucking score. And now they're on a level they don't even keep score anymore.
No,
Like,
they want everybody to go, oh, well, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Like, goddamn, like, it doesn't matter male or female. Like, and this is where I fucking like being a father of both guys and fucking females. Like, my fucking oldest daughter, she fucking slammed, and I fucking told Trippy this story. Fucking my son was fucking with my daughter. And my daughter fucking literally slammed my son's head against the table. Went, motherfucker, you stop fucking with me now. I couldn't stop laughing.
You were around?
I was around, and like,
and she cursed.
Yeah,
you let her curse in the house.
I let her curse, but at the same time, like, I could not stop laughing.
Why do you let your kid curse? That's disrespectful as fuck.
Hold on,
that's your house.
Wait. I told her, baby, That is wrong. What you did for cursing. That is wrong.
No, you didn't. You laughed at her.
But I laughed because I went,
Yeah.
at the same time, I cannot be mad because you fucking put him in his place. I would not expect you to fucking do that. Like, I expect you to fucking do that if you were in school, if somebody was fucking with you, and that builds up the confidence of a female to a fucking male in that role. Like, and this is fucked up part about society. Like, you have to build up fucking daughters to go, yeah, call him a motherfucker. Tell them to go fuck off. Like, slam their head against
Ain't that the real problem though?
it really is. Like, you have to play that fucking fine line. Dude.
No, the problem is that, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, females can basically do whatever the fuck they want at this point. Like, we're all bitching about SJWs and you're making more of them.
No.
Like, I'm teaching my daughters to do dishes and like do laundry. You know what I mean, I'm trying to teach my daughters to be like females. Like, I want them to
both my sons and my daughters will fucking do laundry. They will fucking do dishes. I'm also teaching them how to fucking cook, everything like that. But at the same time, like, fucking, I want them to know fucking, like, especially the females, that they know how to defend themselves. That they're not this weak piece of shit where they could just go, oh, a guy's pushing me around. Like, no, fucking defend yourself. Stand up for yourself. Like, if fucking fight back.
No, that sounds like some SJW bullshit to me.
No, fight back.
It sounds like some SJW shit to me.
I don't know. It sounds more like a fatherly thing to do. I mean, I'd rather like it. I'm not saying I want a kid. If I had kids, I want to be violent. But, you know, I mean, if something bad is going to happen, I'd rather they know what to do.
Like, I teach my sons to be violent. You know what I mean? But my daughters, I ain't going to teach them that. Like, that ain't going to help them. No, it's not going to help them in life.
That sounds even more
What if they have to defend themselves against? What if they have to defend themselves against a rapist?
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
that's what their man or fucking brothers.
No, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
So what if they're alone, their man isn't around, and they're alone by themselves?
They shouldn't be alone.
But they're walking down the street at fucking 18, 19 years old. They don't have a man. They don't have fucking somebody who's significant to them. What are they going to do? Who somebody is jumping on the fucking bushes, Pinoid? How are they? You as a father are going to sit there and go, yeah, this is how they are going to fucking defend themselves.
I'm gonna tell them not to motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, walk around alone without a man.
Without a man, but how are they going to defend themselves?
Right there is way too Middle East for me.
Yeah. Well, on top of all that, I mean, like, there's literally zero preparation for every contingency.
Stop trolling, Pinoid.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I teach all my kids to be highly violent. Fuck the bullshit.
I would hope so.
Yo, my 3-year-old went outside. Well, all right, he's 16 now, but when he was 3, he went outside. He came inside fucking one time. He goes, Dad, I'll be right back. And he goes and grabs the extension for the vacuum cleaner. There's one kid, and I went outside to see what he was doing. This one kid that took his Frisbee. The kid was like 7. My 3-year-old went outside and fucking wore this motherfucker out home. He put stitches in his fucking head. he comes back to the fucking house. I'm like, come on, man, I'll get you some ice cream. Yo, I teach my kids to be highly violent motherfuckers. But yeah, I'm saying, like, you know, like my daughters and shit, I try to teach them to be agreeable, you know what I'm saying, rather than fucking, you know what I mean, try to teach them to, you know, be violent and fight their fucking nature. Like, it's unnecessary. And I don't ever let my kids curse in my fucking house.
That was one time that I let my fucking daughter fucking curse. Like, and me and my wife were not around. Like, we were outside we were in the garage smoking a cigarette, and all I heard was motherfucker, and that's when I ran back inside, and I heard the after of don't fuck with me, and that's when I pulled my wife and my son aside, and I was like, all right, or my daughter and my son aside, and I was like, all right, what's going on? Talk to me, you know, what happened? And they explained to me what was happening, and like, we don't allow them to like, they're not even allowed to say fat. Like, we don't let them.
Fap?
What was it?
What, fap? Fap?
Fat with a
Oh.
T. God damn it, Tribby. Stop fucking being off on the street. But
Oh, I hurt my penis.
it's a matter of defending yourself. And I've taught this to both my fucking daughters of defend yourself. If somebody is fucking with you, you don't take that shit. Defend your fucking self. Let it fucking go to a point where somebody's putting hands on you. As soon as somebody puts hands on you, that's when you are okay to cross that line. Because I told my fucking daughter, if you were at school and this happened, if you did exactly what you did tonight, and I got that phone call from the school, I would be taking you out for ice cream right now.
Yeah.
See, when I was in school, man, like when I was in elementary and middle school, I used to get my ass beat all the time because people would talk shit to me, and I had a quicker mouth than I did, fucking fists. I would end up getting glasses broken, and then the next day I'd go back to school and I'd talk more shit and get another pair of glasses broken. One day, I got so fed up with this one kid that wouldn't he wouldn't stop fucking with me. And he was like, listen, we're going to fight right now. I grabbed him by the collar and I pulled him into the middle of a busy street. And I was like, you want to fight? We'll fight right the fuck here. He never came up to me again after that. He was like, that motherfucker's crazy.
I have a feeling.
I'd love to sit here and tell some violent tales with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some really good ones, but I got to go to fuck to bed. I got to be up in the goddamn morning. You know what I mean? So I'm a motherfucker. Holla at y'all later. Come check out Tom P's with P Noid News. You know what I'm saying? For more Muslim propaganda from the motherfucking Guinea.
God damn it.
Oh man, I get it the fuck in out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Check out my bottom bitch accelerate. Make sure y'all go check out Trippy Poop. You know what I'm saying? The ace of motherfucking skulls. God damn it. And make sure you fucking tune the fuck in and get it the fuck done. Much love to the motherfucking country. Thank you, my brothers, for having me to fuck on and sharing this motherfucking time with me. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace be like one.
Have a good one, man.
Take it easy.
Thank you for all that.
Why did
we got
hey,
$5
real quick,
from
Mr.
LM.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ace. You haven't read one yet.
Say, Mr. LM002 said for $5, I'm with Ace of Skulls on this one. The last thing we need is more weak ass women. Life is hard. If you don't pull your own weight, you're dead weight.
I think we should probably clarify about the whole weak ass women. We don't want like strong ass women like the feminists, how they say that they're all good and strong. I mean like actually strong, like we don't need no laws making sure that
mentally strong is a great thing to have.
Well, it's not even mentally strong, mentally and physically. Like
physically comes
have
into
that
it,
confidence too. Like I was saying with my fucking daughter, like she went to my son, fuck you, like slammed his head on the table. Yeah, like I was slightly proud, slightly disappointed. Like I won't lie, but at the same time, like she's the type of girl that I'm raising where a fucking restraining order, she will fucking go, fuck a restraining order. It's a goddamn piece of paper. I know how to defend myself. I will fight you off. I'm easily going to fucking kick a rapist off of me, break his fucking arm, do what I need to fucking do to get away from that situation. And fuck yeah, like that's the type of females that we need to fucking raise.
Live life by Cobra Kai rules, eh?
Hell yeah.
Strike first.
Strike first, strike hard.
Yes.
Strike fear into the heart of your enemies.
That's my Cobra Kai.
I actually was going to say I have a feeling that if Samaj ever had kids, they would end up growing up to be very similar to that of Nightwing and Huntress.
I don't know. I might take the Street Fighter route and just take them on a walk throughout the world and make the kids climb up mountains without any gear or anything like that. Build character. Fucking climb that mountain.
Dude, if I ever have a daughter, her name will strike fear into the hearts of her enemies because it will be Thunder Cunt.
I just had this thought in my head of a fucking comic strip cartoon thing of Samaj just standing there proudly looking up at like, a mountain thing. I walk up and was just like, hey, Samaj, what's going on? Nothing, just teaching my kids some things. Oh, okay. And his son just completely loses his grip, falls down, crashes. And Samaj is still looking up, smiling. I was just like, oh my God, your fucking son. I think he's dead. No, it's fine. I have another one.
Yep.
What? Father of the year right there.
Yeah. Live life by the fist.
But I do got to know though, like we really got hella off topic with that Death of Superman thing. First of all, Samaj, I need to know where you watched Death of Superman because I would like to watch Death of Superman and I don't know anywhere to find it. Second, I'm guessing you've watched the other animated movies as well.
Most of them.
Like All-Star Superman?
Yeah, I liked All-Star Superman.
I wasn't referring to All-Star. I was referring to like the DC's animated universe.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen quite a few of them. But I like the part from All-Star Superman where he's like, I get to cut loose finally. And he, was fucking that guy up. Lobotomized him and shit. Like, that was dirty. That was dirty Superman.
Well, that was actually All-Star. That wasn't All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman was the one where he was dying from the sun's poisoning. What you're referring to is Superman versus the Elites.
That one. That's the one. I mean, like, it was kind of a dumb setup, and like these guys just randomly had powers, in the movie anyway.
Well, I think it was called Metahumans, and that was DC's answer to the X-Men, like mutants and all that. They had metahumans, so that's essentially the same thing.
I remember metahumans were Static Shock.
Yeah, well, they didn't really stick to that very long because it was a little too repetitive, and it's like we're doing the same stories essentially. So no, I think they keep them up, but it's like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they still have metahumans in the DC universe, and they still use that word and everything like that. The only real thing is the only real difference is that there is a clear and obvious distinction in Marvel of the X-Men and the mutants of their world versus the metahumans of the world, because even Marvel refers to certain characters as metahumans. Spider-Man is a metahuman. Morbius is a metahuman. There are certain characters that did not naturally develop superpowers, that were just simply given superpowers either through some special drug like Captain America or some random occurrence like Luke Cage. They're referred to as metahumans, but the X-Men are clearly mutants.
See, like, I like to watch Ethan Van Sciver stuff, and he made a comment that essentially most Marvel characters got their powers through accidents. Like the Fantastic Four. They didn't really, they weren't born with it. It was an accident that got it to it. Spider-Man, accident. Daredevil, accident. What am I? Oh.
And while I'll agree that a bunch of those accidents did make a bunch of superheroes, I want to fucking chime in and say, Mr. LM002 just dropped another super chat for $10 saying raising any child to be reliant, thank you, on others for their safety is some sad shit. I can't tell y'all how many women I know who are weak as fuck mentality, but they are the majority. I don't want she-holes, I want equals.
Stop making me look bad. I said you were literate.
I want She-Hulks, but that's because I have a hard-on for She-Hulk. The good She-Hulk, not this new garbage that we've been given.
But at the same time, I have to say, equal rights, equal fights.
Yeah, fair enough. Samaj, you were saying.
Shut up, cat. No.
Wow.
Strangle your fucking cat.
Am I the new Brockus, but with a cat?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fine. Brockus is sexy.
You gotta get the top knot rocking trippy.
I don't think I could pull it off. My hair's it's thick, but it's not like right hairline. Yeah, we'll go with that. You see the hairline that my Joker has? Mine's a couple of steps off of that. It's a little bit more rounded and further back.
You know that little like arrow in the middle there, kind of like a Vegeta hairstyle.
Right, Widow's Peak.
Okay.
I have a little bit of the Widow's Peak. Yeah, fucking, I'll turn my camera on. I'm wearing my giant fucking red shirt I hate. I got a doctor's appointment.
I think that has to do with the state of Takahata's mind from time to time.
Okay.
Takahata 101 has been very open about this. He unfortunately suffers depression, and a lot of things have probably happened in real life. I follow all three of them on Twitter. Lenny is not very present on social media, as far as I can tell. And then there's oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. Kaiser Neko. Kaiser Neko it looks like he's been very busy with his husband's birthday and all kinds of other shit going on in like real life and everything like that. But I don't really know. I'm just guessing.
Well, I know they have a bunch of things in the works. I heard that there was a secret project they're working on, and I don't know what that is. I hope it's something good, because I mean they need something to get them going. I hope I'm actually hoping that they're starting their own little company or something, making it like an animated short.
Well,
shorts.
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did kind of come out with something like that, because I don't know if anybody heard about this, but not too long ago, both Lenny and Taka actually ended up getting a fucking a legit voice acting job for a new anime that was coming out that year. Like this, and this was a few years back. So they've clearly gotten the attention of a lot of big name people. So
well, I know that an actor friend of theirs who played, was it Dr. Giro, the villain there? He works at Funimation now. He voices a bunch of villains and stuff. He plays like the Lich and the main character in Overlord.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, that's cool. So one of you guys you top tier in Funimation. So that's good.
Yeah, they've definitely got connections. I would love for them to finally fucking come out with a new episode, or at least something to finish up the Cell Saga, because last we left our heroes, Gohan was getting
last time on Dragon Ball.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Gohan was being mercilessly beaten nearly to death by Cell because Goku sucks at being a father.
Yeah, I know.
That was what we left off on. There hasn't been anything new since then.
Why didn't you dodge?
That's the best question, or the best part.
You never dodge. It's like, why did I jump in front of it?
Wow,
Ow.
we really need to learn how to dodge. Right?
Fucking this little Saiyan dude can't even dodge, man. What do you want?
You are the new me with a
That
cat.
is Tabitha Poop right there. That is Tabby Trippy Poop. No, that doesn't work. Hey,
No.
get your ass out of here. Nope, she's just gonna fucking yeah.
And now no one will ever believe that you don't get pussy.
I do all the time. It's black and it's fuzzy.
I don't know. Man.
It makes noises when I do stuff to it.
All right.
It's weird.
All right.
Gross.
That's
Dude, my cat will fucking she will.
much better father than fucking Goku to his own family, due to the fact that, like, in Dragon Ball Super, when after Pan is born, who is the constant babysitter for Pan? Piccolo. Piccolo is always babysitting the shit out of fucking Pan, and, like, you know, he knows everything that Pan likes and all that stuff, and is definitely more of the grandpa for Pan and stuff. But then the episode happens where Goku, because he can't really fight or train or anything like that, he decides, I might as well give this family thing a try, and he actually goes and he babysits for Pan and stuff. But Piccolo doesn't leave, even though he was supposed to leave because he wasn't babysitting that day. But Piccolo ends up going back to help babysit anyways. And, like, the one day, the very next day, when Goku's still, like, you know, relaxing and shit like that, he does a shit job and Pan goes fucking missing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, for fuck's sake. And the best part was Piccolo yells at Goku, screams, "What did I tell you? I told you she likes to explore." And I am laughing my ass off because I'm just like, this is only confirming how much of a shit father Goku really is. And how much
likes to
better he is.
exploit the people who are not fucking top knots.
What?
I said she likes to explore the people who are not fucking top knots.
You go home, Ace. I think you're drunk.
Don't you fucking judge him.
But no, it's just I find it funny though, because like if you, and in all honesty, Dragon Ball Super has been it was a gigantic disappointment. I'm not even gonna hide that fact.
What do you think? I haven't watched it all. I'm still way back on the episodes of Black Goku.
Oh, they have all the
Goku
episodes.
Black. That's a thing. Do you guys ever remember looking at a website called The Black Goku?
No.
It was cool shit, dude. Like, it was all fan art, but the guy, he made Goku black, so like he was Super Saiyan, but he had cornrows. I'm not even shitting you. Like that was a real thing.
Interesting. I like when they were doing the Black Goku arc, and in the dub version, they still kept the whole like Trunks coming down and
They were like,
wait, don't shoot, he's not black.
This man's not black. And everybody like holds their guns back. Oh, it's it's whatever the hell they called Trunks. They're like, are you sure?
taking that scene out of context is really bad. Really, really. I think that's probably the only real humor I got out of the entire show. Was the out of context humor that you could definitely fucking see. Like if you just clipped this little piece and put it online or something like that, it would look really fucking bad for the show. I think that was the only thing I really was enjoying. Otherwise, almost everything about the show just kind of disappointed me. Like, I know Goku's supposed to be dumb, but Jesus fucking Christ, they took that shit way higher. They notched that motherfucker to 21. Okay, on his.
I always saw it as Goku wasn't supposed to be dumb per se. He's just a master at fighting. It's what he likes to do. It's his favorite thing, right? And even in the day way back when, in the Dragon Ball days, Master Roshi taught Goku and Krillin simple math. At the very least, he taught them math and how to read and write.
Yeah, and it's fucking retarded because then you jump into Dragon Ball Z and his character still isn't he's a shit dad, but his character still isn't that fucking dumb. He
Always
really
obsessed
isn't
with
that
fighting,
fucking
but
dumb. He is
not that
obsessed
dumb.
with fighting, but he's not fucking that dumb. And in Dragon Ball Super, it's like they've replaced his brain with a DBZ version equivalent of fucking Peter Griffin.
Yeah,
and
dude.
I'm just like, what?
All those knocks to the head, dude. What can you say? He's gotten hit a lot of times in the head.
Then Vegeta would have dropped in intelligence as well.
And I think they say that in the Dragon Ball Z and the movies or whatever, there's only one or two villains that Goku didn't bite while fighting.
No, truthfully speaking, if you actually pay attention to, I'm not gonna lie about this. If you look at Dragon Ball Z and the actual kill counter for all the characters, Vegeta has the highest kills.
Yeah, Goku's only got 2.
Goku never even killed Frieza.
He killed Boo.
Let's point that out. Goku never actually killed Frieza, and then
Trunks
they had to make him kill him in the second Dragon Ball Z / DB Super fucking movie and shit like that, and in the TV show when they had
the Golden Frieza.
Yeah, so it's fucking retarded because when you look at it, Goku never killed the androids. Goku never killed Cell. Goku never killed Frieza. Goku only killed Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Goku beat up a few villains, but he never actually killed any of them. Goku was probably the most hindrance fucking character in the entire goddamn show. And I want to point this out. At one point, Goku decided, after talking to Grand Kai and all of them and gotten the fucking earrings to do a fusion and stuff like that, he was under the impression that he would fuse with somebody forever. Because that was what he was shown, and that's what he was told would eventually happen, is they would actually end up fusing forever. It isn't until Dragon Ball Super that they actually change up the fact that it's only an hour for non-Kais to actually fuse, or apparently they like to change up the rules mid fucking show. All of a sudden, you know, if you use up too much energy, and it's just like, why would you set a time
same as the
if
other
energy
fusion.
comes into play? And it's fucking annoying as shit because they keep doing this over and over again. Like Goku was supposed to come back for 24 hours, but he only stayed for 2
because he went Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, because he used too much of his energy, and I'm like, stop rewriting your fucking rules in the middle of the goddamn show, Jesus.
Yeah, well, the part of the problem with that is Akira Toriyama himself, because he's not very good at remembering the rules of his own show, or even the fragments of the characters. When he was working on the Dragon Ball movies, like the Super movies, he made Bulma blonde, and people had to, his own staff had to remind him, like, no, it's blue. It's like, are you sure? Yeah, no, it's blue. He got her confused with Android 16.
Yeah.
So I thought that, all right, that's interesting. On top of all that, she's supposed to be much older, because by the end of Dragon Ball Z, her and Chi-Chi had started getting bags under their eyes. Oh, somehow she's like de-aged and she looks as young as she did. Yeah. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was another thing. The continuity issues were just way too much stupid. Here's the, and I did say it that way on purpose. Here's my biggest issue. The Goku Black story in Dragon Ball Super. At one point, future Trunks, has to go back into the past and basically recruit Vegeta or Goku. Specifically, he's going back for Goku and everything like that. And in all honesty, the fact that everybody constantly relies on Goku pisses me the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
But he has to go back and he has to recruit Goku to bring him back to basically beat Black Goku or Goku Black, whichever way you want to fucking look at it.
Goku is black. Yes.
And so when he does this, he goes back into the past, but terrible shit happens on the way there and everything like that. And so he does it. And then Trunks is examining, Kid Trunks is examining the fucking the pod, and he looks inside and he sees a blue-haired guy. And then Bulma eventually sees it and she freaks out and she shows up and she's like, you can see the person inside. Does he have blue hair?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, that entire fucking episode, this entire time, they have been going to flashbacks of when future Trunks, that exact same
Purple
future
hair.
Trunks, came into the past with his purple ass lavender fucking hair, the longness, all that shit. They showed all of his old fucking fight scenes with the androids, with fucking Cell, all that stuff. They showed all of these things and then keep flashing back to a blue-haired Trunks.
Yep.
To which, in dialogue, even Bulma says, "Does he have blue hair?" Yeah.
She
By
says
the way,
blue hair
why
like
does that one
yours.
still have fucking lavender hair? I'm just saying there's a lot of shit going wrong with this whole fucking thing, but apparently everybody's retarded and doesn't think it's different. Oh, this is supposed to be future me? Well, he's got blue hair, so of course I wouldn't think it's fucking future me. Do you dye your hair blue, you fucking faggot?
You do
It
know,
didn't make any goddamn sense.
I almost said Brawley. But anyways, he's coming up. He's coming up. Brawley wasn't even created by Akira Toriyama, right?
Oh, that makes sense because later on, Akira Toriyama, even to this day, says that the most dangerous saying or the most powerful saying he to him is Brawley. And I'm thinking to myself,
a quote from Akira Toriyama, though. That's a quote from a different guy. I'm pretty sure. It's from the creator of Brawley. He says that. He says that Brawley is stronger than any other character in the show currently, even with Super Saiyan God and Blue.
Oh, well, I mean, to a certain degree, I guess you could say that makes sense, except for the fact that in the very movie that Brawley was introduced, he beat the shit out of literally everybody there.
Yeah, and he got taken up by a punch.
And yeah, then Goku gains all their fucking energy and takes him out with one single punch. And I'm thinking to myself, if you had that in your wheelhouse from the start, why wouldn't you start the fight with that?
Brockus. You need to see SSJ9K, because that's what he changed his name to. But he has a movie called, it's the first Brawley movie, but he calls it the Legendary Bodybuilder Saiyan. You got to watch that video, dude. It's like 20 minutes, but it's fucking worth it. Like at one point, Gohan looks at Brawley and he goes, "You couldn't even bench press my daddy's Dende," and he's like talking shit to him. And like after Goku, takes him out, it's another Dende joke. Fucking Vegeta even made a Dende joke. He was like, He's like, Kakarot, you can't stop laying your dende on defeated foes. And he's like, what are you talking about, Vegeta? And they flash back a bunch of times. And it's like Nappa's laying on the ground, like, don't kill me, Vegeta. And you see Goku's dick like flop onto his face.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's what they call a dende. And they're like, it's the legendary bodybuilder Surin. We're not going to be able to beat him.
Yeah, that's one thing that always falls short when it comes to Dragon Ball Z. You can't ever actually count on it for fucking continuity, because truth be told, Dragon Ball was probably the only one that really stuck to the continuity pretty well. They did change and retcon a few things throughout the actual manga and show itself, but it wasn't as bad as what happened later on with, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, where they consistently kept changing rules. Like, one of the I think that the Buu saga, that was probably where it all fell apart, because of the fact that they changed the rules so frequently. In the same arc where Goku is brought back for 24 hours, Toriyama decided to change the rule and say, well, he used up too much of his energy, and that's why he's got to go back to Otherworld. That makes no sense. Why? Why exactly would you make that fucking rule? Don't say that he can come back for 24 hours because magic says he can, but then decide, you know, a few episodes later, well, he went Super Saiyan 3 and used up too much energy, so now he has to go back. Those are the consequences. Fucking why? But then we get the Tournament of Power episode several years later. Same rule for fucking Frieza. Same exact rule for Frieza. You can come back for 24 hours. Frieza exerts himself so much that he is exhausted. He goes beyond. He goes to Frieza Gold mode, or Gold Frieza mode. Doesn't have to go back to Otherworld because he used up too much of his energy. And if I remember correctly, Super Saiyan 3 was not as powerful as Gold Frieza. In fact,
it shouldn't
Gold
be.
Gold Frieza is just under Super Saiyan Blue, especially
God
Super Saiyan
tier.
Blue with Kaioken. And it's just like, you're not following your own fucking rules, Toriyama. You're not following your own fucking rules in a lot of shit.
Wasn't he also brought back to life by Whis? In like a split second, he was just like, bam, you're alive now. Frieza,
No.
I'm saying.
No,
Frieza got brought back to life by Whis.
Oh, yeah, well, that's because Whis is one of those gods that can technically do anything he wants because he's a god above gods. Like,
Isn't he an
technically,
angel?
Whis is...
Or
No. Technically, what Whis is he's a celestial angel. He is not... Beerus is a god. Champa is a god. They're gods of destruction. But there is still a god hierarchy because those... The people that trained them, Whis and his kind, they are above them in power, in skill, in what they are capable of doing and such. There are still rules that even they have to follow, but still, like, if Beerus lost his shit and actually started blowing up everything and started just destroying an entire universe and stuff like that, if Whis had had enough with Beerus' shit, he could, within an instant, just destroy Beerus without question. Like, you know, no, I'm done with you. You're fucking gone. He could blink him out of existence. That's how powerful Whis is supposed to be. The only person that is above him, of course, is Zeno.
Yeah. And then Zeno, then there was two of them and stuff. I don't know that shit. I know.
Well,
Dragon
even
Ball,
you
not
could
super.
argue, actually, Whis' father is more powerful than him, but then Zeno is still more powerful than...
Yeah, I watched something with Geekdom 101 where he was talking about the different levels and stuff. He's the one that actually said, you know, Broly wasn't created by Akira Toriyama. He was like, we're going to be making a video to straighten all that shit up.
No, well, that actually makes a lot of sense because sometimes, like, there are certain characters and there are certain stories in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z that people think is 100% Toriyama, but it actually isn't.
And he also said he's going to do a video about how Toriyama didn't create Super Saiyan 4 as well.
Oh, yeah, no,
like,
he did.
Ooh.
Actually, the entirety of GT was never an actual original project. If you
No,
notice,
he drew some sketches, though. Like, he drew Vegeta, from what I heard, with a mustache.
Yeah, but that was because he was thinking if he had to continue the story, this is what he would probably think they would look like, stuff like that. What's up?
I was just gonna say, my hope is that because Super has been it's been a success. Everyone loves it. It's made a lot of money. It's done like gangbusters for a lot of people, and I know that Toei has decided to devote an entire wing of the animation studio to just Dragon Ball projects. And what that means is that there's going to be a lot more. I guarantee you there'll be more series after Super, a series of movies. My also hope is that they're going to hire someone to piece together the lore and the rules of the universe, and just be the fact checker and all that, to try and keep all this in line. Because like you said, there's a lot of continuity errors, a lot of that's due to Toriyama himself, and I think also because there's a lot of people in the woodwork right now making mangas and stuff that's also supposed to be like that Yamcha spinoff, and other such characters. There's supposed to be stuff that tells other stories. Someone's got to keep that in line, and I hopefully there'll be a lore master or something. I don't know what the title is.
Well, I don't think that they're probably ever going to have that, because of the fact that, like, the only reason why all of those manga have started popping up left and right is due to the fact that they in Japan, as far as I can tell, there isn't any real like rules necessarily on what you can and cannot do towards manga and shit. Like, I think there are certain titles out there. There are certain companies that don't own their characters so much that, you know, if there was a fan fiction manga out there, that it would get, you know, taken down immediately, kind of thing. Like, no, you can't have that and stuff. So it might have started off as a web comic, but then a publishing company decided to, you know, say like, hey, I actually really like this. You want to make this a real thing. So most likely there isn't a whole lot of lore structure over in Japan. I mean, I'm sure there is, obviously. I don't know the whole thing. I don't know the industry out there. But the fact that there's so many multiverse stories that are being written and produced as legit mangas and light novels out there based around Dragon Ball Z, it only makes me wonder, can you get that shit on track? Can you just like smack away all the bullshit and just, I don't know, keep to one continuous story? That's not even a word, I think. Continuous.
Someone needs to keep that in line, also because like the movies aren't technically canon, but a lot of the characters from the movies have made appearances in the show. But then the show is based on the manga, and the manga didn't do all that because some of that was filler. So like, okay, are we like the manga finished? But I know they continued the manga with new artists and whatnot. So I think like, as much as I love Toriyama and the stuff that he's done, there needs to be someone needs to be like the Kevin Feige of the DC universe, or not DC universe. Yeah, just get the shit together, because things are kind of going crazy, and I think with Toriyama in charge, it's going to get even crazier. So someone, I think everything you're saying, Brock, is absolutely poignant and really on the nose. But someone's got to manage it, and I know Toriyama's not the guy for it. I think he just wants to retire and do his own thing, which is fine. Okay, that's great. You can come in and talk every now and then, do some art styles. Hopefully, someone can fix up the art style on Super, because I've noticed that a lot of these guys who used to be fairly buff have kind of gotten skinnier and scrawnier.
Yeah, they did that too often.
I just like okay, I get when Goku went Super Saiyan God. I mean,
that was on purpose, like very on purpose, to make him look so thin. He looked thinner, younger, just like a smaller build.
And I get that. Quicker. And I get that because like Beerus is a god, and he's about the same stuff. So maybe there's some lore factor in that as well. Like maybe that's an effect of going into a god mode.
Oh, dude, you remember when they thought that the fusion was supposed to be fat? That was funny.
Oh yeah, that was actually funny though.
They were like, Boo's fat. Well, maybe they're supposed to be fat too. Maybe there's like a secret.
And then they find out they're doing it wrong. I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah. Somebody's finger was off just slightly.
Like one was bent.
One of the other things I wanted to point out, you brought up the fact that he made Bulma blonde. and they had to correct him on that. Do you know what he ended up doing later?
What?
He still got a blonde Bulma. I'm not even shitting you. Okay, as far as I know, Bulma is the only child of Professor Brief and that whole family and everything like that. Dragon Ball, I don't remember ever hearing anything about Bulma having a sister or even a brother. Dragon Ball Z never once mentioned siblings for Bulma. As far as I knew, Bulma was always a only child. But in Dragon Ball Super, they retconned their own fucking family. One of the favorite families from the Dragon Ball fandom and shit like that. And now Bulma has an older sister who just so happens to be blonde.
So, I have a theory on that.
The mama's blonde.
No, my theory actually, oddly enough, because there's certain things that are considered canon and certain things that
Oh my
aren't.
god. Yeah.
One of the canon factors was one of the more recent video games. And it was one where Trunks was like he was leading some sort of, it's a time travel thing, and you have to help certain time continuity things, like when Raditz comes to Earth, he can't go there knowing how to become a Super Saiyan because then he's a god.
Yeah.
But then that's apparently a factor. So you have to like knock the guy out so that way Goku can sacrifice himself or whatever, and so someone had said that that's actually canon. And how the fuck does that become canon? And then like that would mean the Z Fighters would know who you are, but then they have to retcon that.
They don't know why it's canon. They just say things.
Well, I think what they're trying to build up to, because now that it's been announced, there's this whole wing of Dragon Ball Z spin-offs and stuff coming up there. I think they're actually going to have events occur again with time travel elements. In other words,
kind of like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, the game.
Exactly. I think that I think there's going to be an anime out there that's going to come out there and explain that. Like, no, Bulma doesn't have a sister. She never mentioned it. You're right. I think there's going to be a show that's going to come out that explains that. Because
how her sister was away at like high school or something while Bulma and Goku were getting the Dragon Balls.
Well, no, the fact that he had a sister at all. I mean, you're right. There is no mention of it at all. Why would there be unless something happens? And if there is going to be another series out there that's going to explain some of this stuff, then maybe we'll find out why Trunks' hair is blue instead of lavender, why this is going on, why that's going on. There are certain continuity errors, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a show that's going to explain that. It's going to be a spin-off. It might star Trunks. Chances are maybe it'll be the whole Dragon Ball GT cast will get their own series again.
Death Harukin says it's from Jacko, the space dude. He says they don't talk about her because she was in space.
No, that's actually false. I'm gonna go ahead and say that is the bullshit cop out. I don't know what they say in the manga. I've never read a single Dragon Ball Z, or even Dragon Ball Super manga. But as far as I can tell from what the anime tells me, here's where the problem is. When I said that there were some Dragon Ball Z problems with continuity,
inconsistencies, yeah,
there were a lot of inconsistencies. Here's one of the biggest ones. When Dragon Ball Z starts, Gohan is 4 years old. That's what they keep saying. He's 4 years old. Okay, and when the Saiyan saga is going on, Yajirobe at one point decides to go out on his own, and he kind of uses his knowing of Goku and the others as to get free meals over and over again, because everybody knows that the Saiyans are coming and shit like that. Big panic. The mayor of the town that Bulma lives in was a dog. And on top of that, the chief of police was a dog.
Yeah.
And the chief of police, when hearing Yajirobe knows Goku, they all know exactly who Goku is. Oh, he's the guy that won the last World Martial Arts tournament. Goku's that guy that beat that green guy who was trying to kill and take over everybody. Oh, yeah, we know Goku. We know Goku. Yeah, he's a great guy. 10 years later, nobody knows who the fuck he is. Nobody. Hercule shows up.
It just
Hercule
kinda got
Satan
erased.
becomes the World Martial Arts Tournament fucking champion 2 years in a row. And now he's the greatest world champion ever.
Well, yeah,
No one remembers Goku at all. Even when Goku shows up in the tournament, during the tournament, only a handful of people recognize Goku. And even then, they can't place his fucking name. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to problems with fucking continuity. Suddenly, a 10-year gap happens. No one remembers Piccolo. No one remembers Goku. No one remembers Krillin, Master Roshi. None of them. Nope, they are completely lost to time all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now Geekdom went over that too, and he was saying that if you watch like the first World Martial Arts Tournament, it was non-televised. So anybody that was there would be the only people who actually saw it and would believe it happened. But he also pointed out the fact that when King Piccolo was on his reign of terror, that he was literally on the news at different junctures.
Yeah, and
he's
again,
like, so that's still kind of like, how do they not remember this?
how does nobody remember King Piccolo? How does nobody remember what Piccolo looked like and stuff? Like there were way too many fucking problems when it came to the story alone. Goku is the greatest hero the world had ever known, and that was how he was painted at the end of Dragon Ball, and that was how he was depicted in the very first saga of Dragon Ball Z. But he goes to Namek and gets in trouble with the fucking gets a little bit of trouble with some androids, deals with fucking Frieza again, or well, that was actually Trunks and shit. And then the Cell Saga begins, and all of a sudden, everyone forgot who the fuck Goku was. Yeah. And then the Buu Saga happens, new World Martial Arts Tournament starring fucking Hercule and a bunch of other fighters.
He was blonde when he showed up, remember? Yeah, but I mean, I agree with you though, dude. There's way too much shit that's like, how did you guys forget? Yeah, imagine though the conspiracy theorists that must live in the Dragon Ball Z world.
It's ridiculous as hell. Like that, Toriyama does have a definite problem when it comes to continuity and stuff like that. But again, throughout Dragon Ball Z, the continuity issue, jumping from the Saiyan Saga into the Cell Saga, you can make enough of an argument to say, well, over time, and because Hercule brought the martial arts tournament back, because they hadn't had one for over a decade at that point. Right. But Hercule was the one who brought back the World's Martial Arts Tournament and won 2 years in a row. Fair enough. Maybe that was enough to cause the people to suddenly forget. But then again, in the Buu Saga, during the third one that Hercule was competing in, all of a sudden only a handful of people are starting to recognize Goku. Only Goku. And that's as far as it went. They don't remember his name. They don't remember the great deeds he did, all that stuff. They don't remember anything else.
Error singing Piccolo, you know.
And the Buu Saga is where it all fucking falls apart, because in their own story, their rules are being consistently changed and shit. And
you know what I liked from that was when Vegeta was like, "They're not listening to me. I wonder why."
Right.
When he's talking to Earth.
But the fucked up thing is because then we jump from the Buu Saga. We have this, decade hiatus. Dragon Ball Super comes back, and all of a sudden now Bulma has a sister. Okay, what? When? Why?
She's
How?
probably an android, dude.
No, she's an older sister. She's not an android. If you try to say the reason why we don't talk, she would have been mentioned at some point. It's just fucking stupid. Now suddenly there's an older version of Bulma with blonde hair, and it's because Toriyama probably really liked the blonde Bulma so much that he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna get her anyways," and he got his blonde Bulma. It's fucking stupid because Toriyama, like, I swear to God, this is George Lucas directing Star Wars all over again. Just tell him no sometimes. Fuck.
Dr. Brief, that's his first name. Yeah, Bulma. I don't think Bulma has a last name. Oh, and my friend Loki says, ask Baracus if he thinks that the Powerpuff Girls is the new Dragon Ball Z.
No.
I don't know why he asks that.
Powerpuff Girls can't be the new Dragon Ball Z because when Powerpuff Girls disappeared all those years ago and stuff, and then eventually came back, it was hijacked by a bunch of people who didn't understand the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
So no, it's not the new Dragon Ball Z.
They can make stuff with their hands and thoughts now.
Yeah, it's just you know.
Oh, and Ace says Goku is the guy who beat Mario and Naruto to make sure the Empire continued against Solo because Boo was Jar Jar Binks' side bitch, right?
Ace can kiss my ass.
Holy shit, Ace.
Motherfucker.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Well, I have to go, guys, because I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. We're probably going to actually shut this down in a couple minutes anyways.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. All right, guys, have a good night then.
Yep, take it easy.
There you go. Bye, chat.
We're ending it talking about Dragon Ball. Oh my god, this actually has been a very contentious topic.
Right? Like I could talk about Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super all fucking day. I hate talking about Dragon Ball GT because then I have to explain to people why it was such garbage.
It's okay. That's nonsense. Dragon Ball GT doesn't exist anymore. No one talks about that. It's good. It's good. It doesn't exist. And you muted yourself, which is fine. Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, no, that was an accident. No, yeah, it's bad though. That's why. It's bad, it's gone. Here's the problem though. With all of these side stories coming out, you know, the Yamcha thing and everything else, it kind of I had this kind of argument with a friend of mine not too long ago. He's actually the buddy of mine who lives in Texas that I'm considering moving to Texas and like hanging out with and shit like that. But he was telling me, you should check out the Dragon Ball Super manga, or you should check out the new manga that I've been reading. And I'm like, is it fan made? And he's like, yeah, it's fan made. I'm like, then it's bullshit. It's not canon. And he's like, shut up, dude. They've been touching on the multiverse in Dragon Ball Super. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But I didn't know what they meant by multiverse. Then I watched it, and I'm just the whole time I'm thinking, you're so full of shit, dude. In none of the universes do they have their own Goku. The only universe that has a Goku is Universe 7, which is supposed to be the main universe, our universe, the one that we've been in this entire time. And I'm just like, can we stop? Can we stop with the multiverse stuff with these things? Like, oh, well, in my universe, this is what's going on with this character. Can you fuck off and just leave the original content as is?
No, because the fans want more Dragon Ball.
I mean, I want more Dragon Ball too, but I want good Dragon Ball. I don't want the fucking half-assed mediocre shit I got.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'd like it if they could, be consistent with a lot of these things, but they can't. It's a moneymaker. And, I mean, if there's one thing that companies like, it's money. So I can't fault them on that.
Yeah, that's true.
But the same...
I kind of get annoyed when it comes to that particular thing.
But on the plus side, I mean, at least they're taking some consideration into some of the continuity and making sure that it's a good story. Unlike, like other things that have been trying to do, like reboots and bring backs, like Star Wars. That's been horribly butchered by politics and nonsense.
Yeah.
But at least Dragon Ball isn't going that way. It's still, manly guys fucking beating themselves up and all that.
Well, yeah, because again, it comes from Japan, and as we know, and still to this day know, Japan does not give a fuck. The amount of fucks that a lot of people here in the States will give, in Canada and the UK, Australia, certain other areas in Europe, anyone in South America, stuff like that. All the fucks that are typically given are not given in Japan.
Well, to an extent, like you said earlier when we were talking about like Soul Calibur not giving a fuck, great. But then, Dead or Alive, they caved and they removed all the jiggle physics. Like, oh, come on. So they win some, they lose some. It depends.
Yeah, that I would say the only reason why those were active is because, like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I've actually been kind of following it a bit, not a whole lot, but Dead or Alive thing has been a massive argument point when it comes to feminists since it came out. Like, I remember when Dead or Alive first came out, and the only console you could play it on was the Dreamcast. And I had a buddy of mine who actually had the Dreamcast who had Dead or Alive, and we played the shit out of that game. Eventually, I got bored with it because I realized this was just Tekken 2.0. So I was just like, it's just Tekken. That's all it is. It's not anything special, and it's not my cup of tea. I'm not a huge fan of Tekken. I don't know. I never really liked Tekken, and my buddy would just argue with me like, it's so much better because the punch button is just one punch button. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just shut up. I'm gonna be over here with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. It's a little more complicated and it's a little more fun. Even then, I didn't really like fucking fighting games all that much. But I remember me and him were talking about Dead or Alive in school one time, and I legitimately heard somebody throwing a shit fit, talking about how the girls' boobs are just way too big and they're all unrealistic, and that blonde wrestling bimbo bitch she's the worst of them all. And I'm like, Tiffany, fucking love her. Fuck you. She's awesome. She's just a big titty blonde wrestling chick. She's the biggest chick out of the entire game. I like grabbing everybody with her. And fuck you.
Wait, which one was that? Is that in the Street Fighter? Or are you talking Tekken? I know there's a wrestler blonde in Street Fighter.
Oh no! In Dead or Alive, there's a chick who's just like King. Her moveset is almost as similar as King too, but there's an actual female wrestler in Dead or Alive. She's this big blonde chick with the biggest knockers, and she wears an American flag for her costume and all that stuff. I think she actually made an appearance in Tekken 2, to be specific, but I'm sorry, not Tekken, Dead or Alive 2, but it might have been in Dead or Alive. She actually does make her first appearance and stuff. Her father is also in the game, and he's also a wrestler. Like, they're supposed to be a father-daughter wrestling duo kind of thing, and that's why they're in the tournament and shit. But yeah, I really liked that character. Like, she was actually interesting. And yeah, I remember hearing people bitching about how Dead or Alive is so terrible because it's sexist and stuff like that. But it was one of those things where it's like I had only ever heard like one or two people talking about it.
I know that. Sorry, I was just going to say, I know that they've been under a lot of ridicule from feminists all over the place in regards to the sexual characters, because they also had the Dead or Alive beach volleyball game series. And I mean that they got a lot of flack for that, saying that you're overly sexualizing women. They're just eye candy, and you have them go around in these like skimpy bikinis doing these mini games and whatnot. All they are is eye candy, just so you can jiggle the boobs.
Yeah, I think Dead or Alive signed its death warrant in the eyes of feminists when, after the massive popularity of Dead or Alive and Dead or Alive 2. They came out with Dead or Alive Volleyball. Because that entire game was filled with, you basically just played volleyball with the women of Dead or Alive. And there were a bunch of different side games in the game to which you could get new bikinis for each character. There were you would do certain achievements in volleyball, like win this many matches in a row, and now you can unlock this bikini for this character and stuff like that. They had their little tasks and everything like that. And then of course there was also the other thing where you were technically Zach taking pictures of all the girls in their bikinis and stuff. So the game was pretty much just being a pervert. I think that's what had enough, and they were like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, okay, I can definitely see that. I know that was definitely a level of contention, to the point where you couldn't actually buy a copy of the game. You had to go online, like I said earlier, Play Asia, yeah. Hashtag not sponsored. Well, they should fucking sponsor us. But for all you great anime figurines and video games, PlayAsia.com. I want money. So, yeah. I like it when Japan doesn't give a fuck, but I hate when they do cave. I know that before I get too off that, I wanted to mention earlier about Funimation, and I think one of the reasons why they didn't change the dialogue in that whole like "don't shoot, he's not black" comment was because Funimation got into some trouble when they were doing their streaming service, and they changed certain dialogues to fit some of the staff's political agendas. Like in prison school, there's a bunch of guys who are in prison, and a lot of the women are very abusive to them, and they were shouting like "you gamer gate, women harassing something or other." That was a moment of contention. There was a few other like what are you, some MRA comments? Yeah, so they did a bunch of those, and they got in trouble to the point where they almost weren't going to get like exclusive rights to the series anymore. So they had to smarten up. I can't tell you. I'm pretty sure someone at Funimation really wanted to take out the "don't shoot, he's not black" comment.
Yeah, probably, but you know, I thought that was one of the funny. "Don't shoot, he's not black," and I'm just sitting there in front of my computer going, "Oh boy."
They did it. They actually did it. Oh.
Yeah, I was not sure that they were gonna fucking. I thought he was gonna say, "Don't shoot, he's not Goku black," but then it was, "Don't shoot, he's not black," and I was just like, "Oh no."
They did good. They did good.
Yeah, I do agree with you though. I love the fact that the majority of Japan does not give a fuck. And it does piss me off when they finally cave, because people tend to forget something very specific about the Samus Aran and Solid Snake debacle. They reduced Solid's ass and they reduced Samus's fucking tits. And I guess they bulked up her body just a bit to where she's a little more buff now, which is fucking stupid. But you have to forget. Or you cannot forget, Smash was still created by a Japanese company. They may be working with American companies for certain video games and properties and such like that, but Smash was made by a Japanese company. So they're technically the ones who did the alterations to these characters that they had originally created to begin with because of Capcom. So there you go. That also was Japan actually caving. And I hate when that happens because it's always something fucking stupid. Taking the jiggle effect away from fucking the girls in Dead or Alive. That's not how boobs are actually, that's not how boobs work. Yeah, and if you drop 10 stories off a fucking cliff and fall straight on your face onto another platform, you will die. But Dead or Alive has been doing that shit since day one, and none of the characters die unless you're on the last leg of your health bar and somebody knocks you off and shit. Then you pretty much, yeah, that's a KO. Come on, yeah, we understand that's not how fucking boobs work and shit, but that doesn't exactly stop the anime animators from fucking still giving us more jiggle effects when it comes to their fucking girls and tits. If you don't believe me, go ahead and check out almost any ecchi anime that actually exists out there. I will give you a small list right now. Tolovru, Sekirei,
High School of the Dead.
High School of the Dead. For fuck's sake, that's like the queen of those. That's not how tits work. The bullet scene is the most infinite one. Infamous one.
That might not be how tits work, but that's how fun works. So
that's exactly how it works.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like tend to forget there's also cultural elements. I mean, like women in Japan don't, feel like sexualizing or having the boobs thing is a sign of oppression or anything like that. They actually view it as empowerment because they think boobs and stuff are kind of a definite feminine thing. Because let's face it, women have boobs, and I mean, emphasizing that is not a bad thing. Oh, yeah. You're also dealing with a culture that for a long time they'd never developed modesty around the breast area. They would actually, men and women would actually walk around topless all the time. It was never really about. It wasn't until people came over from like Europeans came over and brought that philosophy over.
So yeah, shame yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean that's still a fairly new concept, and if you in the grand scheme of things when you think about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and sadly, people tend to not remember this little factor. It is true that the manga and anime industry, along with the comic book industry, have for a very long time now been known to be companies and industries created by men. Cool. But sometime in the 1960s and 70s, the comic book industry and a lot of cartoons were being co-opted by women. And a lot of times, what people don't know this, is that women are the ones who are actually in the comic book industry hypersexualizing characters, such as She-Hulk. One of the main reasons why She-Hulk has been such a slutty slut over her 50 plus year publication existence is because a lot of times those scenes, those stories are written by a woman who basically wanted She-Hulk to get it on with some powerful fucking character like Hercules, the only guy that she's ever banged more than once. There have been a few, obviously, but that's the only superhero that she consistently was banging the shit out of. And it's just, it fucking annoys me when I have to hear these people saying like, oh, the company is doing this, the company. And I'm like, there have been women actually doing exactly that. A lot of the times there have been women drawing the titties as big as they are, drawing the girls in such sexual provocative fucking poses and such, because that's what they want to see. You're shaming this woman for being what she is or for doing what she wants to do. And then it's the same thing over in Japan. A lot of people, a lot of the feminists would probably look at Sailor Moon and, at first they might be girl power, yeah, but then they would say it's problematic because they all wear short skirts. Fun fact, Sailor Moon was completely created by a woman. The only person working on that project as the artist and writer was a woman. She gave you all that. Enjoy, you fucking bitches. And there's an anime out there. I'm forgetting its fucking name. Mocking Key. Mocking Key is one of those other animes that I would definitely put on the list of if you want to fucking go and watch some unrealistic titty jiggle and unrealistic physics in general. Mocking Key has got some characters with some gigantic knockers that do not make any fucking sense. But it's still fun to watch because they're titties and they're great. There's a scene in Mocking Key season 2, I believe. It might have actually been season 1, I believe. It was season 1. Never mind. In Mocking Key season 1, the cast has to actually go and get a temporary job at a maid cafe, which one of the characters already works at. And she's pretty pissed off when she finds all of her classmates there working at the maid cafe. I think it's because now everybody knows that she works there and she has to be girly when normally she's a tomboy who likes to be girly as fuck, but she likes to also fight people. She's one of my favorite characters, by the way. At one point in this particular episode, one of the biggest titty chicks out of all the group, she's in the harem and she's like one of the main focuses of the harem and stuff like that. Huge knockers. She comes over and is serving a table of nothing but girls who are ogling the shit out of her. And at one point, one of them says, I could watch her eat a phone book. And another one follows up with, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, these women are more perverted than the men. The men just want to see your titties. It's like, hey, why don't you show us your titties, girl? Something like that. But these bitches are like so fucking hypersexualizing the shit out of her to the point where they want her to eat a phoned book and somehow make it raunchy as hell. And I'm just like, wow. That made me feel uncomfortable. I'm not sure why, but there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's just shit like that because it's just it drives me fucking up a goddamn wall when I have to hear these fucking crazy ass feminists and these fucking SJWs talking all this shit. And I'm sitting there saying, like, you do know that there are women in that industry who do exactly that too, right? There are women out there that draw huge anime titties because they want to draw huge anime titties. There are women who hypersexualize the shit out of their characters in stories or even in the appeal of the character and stuff like that. And you're going to sit here and tell me that it's problematic because you thought it was a little weird that Samus Aran was actually a hypersexual character in her Zero suit, which actually makes a lot of sense when you think about the Zero suit and how she has been saving the day in some big ass fucking mech armor thing for like a long ass time. Okay, you go in La La Land and pretend like you know what you're talking about. I'm going to stay here in reality. Fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely. With that said, we should probably end it. So,
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and end it at this point. Samaj, you were not here for the intro. You want to give us the outro?
Sure thing. Thanks for coming, everyone, and checking us all out. This has been probably our last hand solo. So we had Brockus, myself, we had Aces Skulls, Pino News, Trippy Poo, Igor. Who else did we get here? Oh, we had Magnus here for the early on while his internet was messing up. And I believe that was everyone. Schmeckle is here in spirit, so.
All right, Kent, get the fuck out.